a paper one time, right?
Yeah. First ad break. First ad break, we'll take care of that. Oh my God. Let's see if we can get so good at this that people don't have to see us doing. This is such a big song, Janice. This is for the people listening to hear on the headphones. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning to the rest of the world listening to us. Ash Wednesday, the day you go to confess for all the nastiness you did for the last 2 days. And as I say that, Anthony Dipu is here with me. King Slacker, deputy political leader, but a sniper. Tony.
Morning, Trinidad and Tobago. How you going? I hope everybody is safe and everything went well over the little carnival season. You know, no serious hangovers and all that good stuff. But once again, welcome and morning.
Bring Cricky in the conversation.
Morning, Janice.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
PRO of the Progressive Empowerment Party, Janice Lemon. Cricky, how did you enjoy your carnival?
Oh, I enjoyed it very well. I was sitting on Arapita Avenue watching the bands and the women and the men go by.
Well, Janice family built a big barn thing in Arapita Avenue now. So many events going on, Janice.
So we get front row seats then.
Front row street.
All right.
Janice business fix.
All right. I get the memo late.
You didn't get no memo late. Don't try that. That memo was set out very early.
You can't get Tony out of Shagona.
You know?
Tony's me Shagona.
Boy, I wish. If that was the case, the place would have worked. Sure.
I ain't talking that kind of mayor. I'm talking whole place.
Too early.
I'm talking whole place. No, but as you're saying that, because I mean, at the end of the day, we want to be able to laugh and joke about everything. But there are realities and stark, harsh realities that we have to wake up to this morning. And to those following on social media would see that we've named the video After the Glitter Fades. After the glitter fades, after all of the carnival is done and dusted, you've invested, you've spent, you've given time and effort to the carnival. Excellent. We call it culture. I don't know whose culture it is anymore. It doesn't represent anything that anybody could seek to understand as part of Trinidad history or culture.
So true.
But it benefited from $500 million in the past 4 years. And one of the questions that we've been asking, if Mardi Gras earns $1 billion for New Orleans, and if Rio Carnival earns $1.1 billion for Brazil Carnival, how does our carnival cost us money? How is our carnival a net loss? How is our carnival the only carnival of all the carnivals where the interest in the carnival is waning? We actually have a smaller turnout every year. It's getting less and less. We get no video sponsorship anymore. Nobody wants to buy the rights for Trinidad Carnival. There's nothing to sell. Besides the few Trinis in the diaspora who still want something to look out to, who outside there in foreign, who trapped, who can't come back because 98% of our tourist arrivals for Carnival are Trinbagonians living abroad, Tony.
Correct.
Trinbagonians living abroad are the largest number of tourist arrivals for Carnival. So that's just people coming home to take a jam. The only people who are interested in seeing Carnival on TV are those who are trapped outside who can't come. They have nothing to sell.
True.
Carnival is a product. This Carnival, our Carnival, makes money for the people who own the bands, maybe. Because they get government subsidy.
I spoke to a couple people.
You know they get a government subsidy, eh?
Oh, yeah.
The band owners who put the bands on the road, Trinidad taxpayers, pay them for the feathers and the beads. So if you didn't know that, government subsidizes tongues in tongue.
Yeah.
That should be the name of 2020 Carnival, man. Tongues in tongue.
But it's a sad thing because when I was on the avenue, they talked to a couple of vendors and they themselves said that the numbers that they would have normally made, it was nowhere close.
No, it's disgusting now because from 2013, which is 6 years ago, if you use Google Analytics, you will see that from 2013, there's been a sharp decline in searches for Trinidad Carnival. That means those numbers would reflect people who are interested in finding out about Carnival to come to Trinidad for Carnival.
Right.
And those numbers would also reflect people who searching for a live stream to see Carnival. It's been on a marked decline. It's sharp on 2013. It turned down sharp and is going to the point where I saw a costume in my street of somebody who was going to play a mass. And I saw her posing for her pictures. Her people was taking her pictures. That is the only interaction I had with 2019 Carnival. And her costume could have been Hearts, Tribe, Bliss, Poison,
all of
Legends, Legacy. It could have been any of them. The only thing that's still giving us something like a memory of mass is these people, besides K2K Alliance, Janice. You all saw anybody else put out anything that looked like it wasn't made in China?
Everything looked as though it came from China.
So there is no culture to the community. There is no making of the costumes. That was a thing, you know. That was a big thing. And I remember that growing up.
Yeah, me too.
When people used to go to the band room and work for 6 months making costumes so they could get their costume and play in the bands. Those who can't afford to play a mass, right? Now everything in Trinidad and Tobago, our entire culture. So the only people who really benefit from Carnival are the alcohol sellers and anybody who is in that industry. It's well organized, but it's, unless you actually in that, there's nothing for you. And your culture cannot be so disconnected. And this is the thing that people missing. That if what the Calypsonians singing can match with what going on the road, that's two different events.
Yeah.
And if the pan men in the pan don't belong in the band, that's two different events. It's a mishmash now. It's not anymore a seamless integration of culture. So they're just using, and in a lot of cases, riding black people back again, Kanbule. They want to tell you, stick fight, limbo. I don't mean nothing to nobody.
True.
A couple people from some depressed communities, until a Syrian learned to limbo, a couple people from some depressed communities get some small change to go and whine on stage for Sharon Pitt to say, well, look at this is our culture.
Yeah.
Whose culture? Where is that in any way? After Carnival, you flick a switch. It doesn't affect the country at all.
Yeah.
So if Ash Wednesday, Carnival is not integrated into your life, if Carnival is not reflective of your life, it's not our culture. In Rio, in Brazil, in Brazil, what we had as Carnival, this 2 days here, they have that every month. Janice, you know that?
No, I didn't.
They have that every month because all of the communities that come together for that Samba war in the soca, in the, not the soca drum, what they call it? I forget now because we had to thief everything, so we had to, right? But it's the Brazilian, the big clash of all the communities that come together with all their samba schools and all their floats, because that's what their carnival is.
Right.
Because that's part of their life. So the samba that is represented and reflected in their football is their carnival. I remember Peter Minchell saying, teach soca in school, teach dance.
Yeah.
Integrate the culture, integrate the different aspects. There have a couple people, and you know what amazed me this carnival? The amount of parents of young people who were involved in the actual PAN. PAN is going somewhere. If we get PAN Trinbago out of it, PAN could go somewhere. If we get government riding it like a parasite out of it, PAN could go somewhere.
Go somewhere, yeah.
PAN shouldn't switch off Ash Wednesday. You should be able to go and lime in the panyard. The panyard's supposed to have seats, a bar, a food place.
Yeah.
And you can say, hey, the same way you do it for carnival when you were stunting. When you wanted to post your look at me selfies on Facebook, we invaders. We're supposed to be able to do that in November.
Yeah.
Janice, for that to be culture.
Yeah.
Agreed.
For that to be culture. We're supposed to be able to experience it 12 months out of the year.
Correct.
Boy, I just
And not just at a particular time.
I upset of how we are expressing our culture to present date. You know, like you said last week on the show last week, New Orleans, they're gonna for their period of time, which is what, a week, right? If it's so much, putting at least almost $1 billion on the ground within that event in itself that they're hosting. And again, it's about foreign people, the tourism sector.
Easy $1 billion in the economy. Now,
Boy.
Somebody was responding to me and saying the state doesn't account for that money. And that's true. The state shouldn't. There's $1 billion that being spent in guest house, hotel rooms, car rentals, foods, drinks, and party, and whatever is happening on the ground. This is $1 billion that is being spent throughout the community, throughout the economy. It's the best dispersal of money, because then it weaves its way seamlessly across, because these people who own the guest houses and had the parties and then they have children to go to school today, and those children need school uniforms and lunch and groceries. So putting money into the economy at every level is how economies supposed to be run.
Right.
It's not supposed to be trickle down from the top, because that just the term trickle down economics tells you what fools they make of us. That while we taking all the money, anything that trickle down, all you can have.
Little crumbs.
All you can have that.
Only fight for that. Only fight for them scraps. That's all really going on. That's why we consider the 1% versus the 99%.
Nobody, Junior Sammy, Kusals, Calco, Northern Construction, overnight contractocracy that exists in this country. That if you bet your money and back a party, they could make you a superstar. Because you could be building roads, pavements, sidewalk, drain, school, community center, cinema. If government building cinema, you getting the nod. And nobody's stopping to ask, why aren't we stipulating that all work in the community be done by people from the community?
From the community, yes.
Why is that a stipulation? So if Junior Sammy is from Separia, let Junior and Chiron
get the work from
build
Separia.
shit in Separia.
Yes.
Junior, Sammy, have no business in Diego Martin Central, where he's setting up right now to build wherever they're building. To give Junior Sammy to build the walkover by 4 roads is an insult to every contractor in Diego Martin. But the people don't get that. Because if the people understood that the government had a responsibility to stipulate, Calco have no business in Diego Martin Central. They are Diego Martin contractors. Now I understand. If we're building a highway,
There are certain pieces of equipment that some contractors would not have.
I understand there are some big gun contractors that to do big gun thing. No
right,
problem at all.
Right. Well, then we segregate them for those particular jobs.
But if you're building a school, John Rahal from Queensway had no business becoming a contractor to build schools and to build houses. John Rahal had no business at all in that. The other Syrian fella, I can't pronounce his name, that built the health center and the school for Kamala. Because not just PNM, not just PNM. That built the health center and the school down in Caranage. And it is an insult to the contractors in Diego Martin West. And I talk in Diego Martin. Because you see, and the reason we're calling this after the glitter fades today is after all the foolishness aside and the distraction, we wind up, we wind down. We wind high, we wind low.
Knees weak right now.
Savannah grass. The Savannah grass. I love it. I love it. I see somebody play a piano in the Savannah. I see somebody play a violin in the Savannah. I just waited for the PNM to go there so Rowley could play the fool in the Savannah.
But he don't play any fool.
Yeah, but he's not in the Savannah. But they should film him. Film Rowley and Stewart and Colm and Faris running around in the Savannah. Send Lennox. You could do like a Bollywood, dance around the trees and because your government is a joke. Your government is a blasted joke. They have no idea what they're doing. No clue.
So true.
They have no clue.
So true.
The national narrative has become, hey, we hit with Gary. Because Gary was always going to be hit and miss. Gary was either going to be widely despised or supremely popular. And his popularity is based on people feeling safe.
Yeah, correct.
For as long.
Correct.
And I tell Short Young already, and for those who want to talk about him, Gary knows how to do what he do. So it's not just stunting. He actually getting the job done.
He know the work.
No, but he getting the job done.
Yeah. Correct.
It's not just put a man in a position like Maxi Coffee, who ain't know what he doing, or Marlene McDonald. She have no clue. But her job is to facilitate theft from the PNM, from the country through the PNM. That's Marlene McDonald, Colm Imbert, Terrence Dial. That's all of them job. You cannot look at the track record of this government or the last government and identify a national vision the way India just eclipsed China. Now China is engaged in a type of global empire where they're lending money that don't exist. They gain your credit, sending their workers and their resources to build in your country. So they're just utilizing their idle assets. But now you owe them for it. So that kind of strong arming kind of selling. But
you can't pay the commander.
And what they season from you. See, they're building crap for you. They're building crap. You want to build a 50-story Mugabe head? They build that for you. They're coming to build that.
Season the assets.
When it's time to seize, if you can't pay, they want your Mugabe head. They want your port.
That's right.
They want your pitch lake. And after the glitter fades this morning, Tony is built on this. Because we have one more year of this PNM government. And if people don't wake up to this reality today, if they don't wake up and realize what we're talking about here, we're in trouble. That there is no more cocoa, there is no more sugar, there is no more oil, there is no more pitch, there are no more incomes. Daddy lost his work. All the money that you're getting, that you're eating, that paying the rent, is money that you get pay off, you get your handle, but that's about 13 months worth of salary. Just in time for you to go there and red and ready and yellow and steady yourself. To dawn into a country that has no income but the taxation that they could take from you. So now they're going to fine and tax you into a type of pseudo-slavery in this country where if you're twirling baton from Michael Aboud, hush your mouth, you know. No matter what they do, you
need that work.
You need that work bad.
You need that work.
You need that work bad. You need that work bad in a country where if they throw you out the house, you can't pay the rent because Aboud fire you. They could lock you up for loitering. You on your children.
Trinidad, all you're listening. This is not madness here talking, you know. This is reality. This is what it can actually be. This right here.
After the glitter fades. After the glitter fades, Janice, Tony. After the glitter fades, what happens next? What happens next? I want to ask Trinidad and Tobago because I confused. So I want them to tell me, where is the income coming from for Trinidad and Tobago? Lockjack and the chocolate and biscuit? That's the income to mine Trinidad. Where's the income coming?
Yeah.
Where's the income coming from to mine SM Jalil and Chubby? Blue Water's exporting water. Where's the money to run this country? When we go, Mr. Speaker, the 2020 budget will be predicated on. What is on? What is that? Every budget since 62 has accounted for tourism, but tourism failed.
Right.
$468 million to run Carnival is a testimony, is an indictment against the failure of tourism. If the net from the Carnival is a loss, Carnival not benefiting the country.
Exactly.
If you can't run a naked show, fire yourself.
Yes.
If you could get little white girls from Westmoreland to put on tongues and pay for the pleasure to wind up in tongue to bring people, and you can't bring people, fire yourself.
Yeah.
You're getting the entertainers for free without them little girls whining, without them little sexy girls from Beatam and Lavantel coming to wind down low on a CNC
and all kind of
CNC3 short girl on she head.
Yeah.
CNC3 and interview a bald-head Indian man. What you like about it? I here to see the girls. So they're not even hiding the bullshit that is our carnival. You know?
Yeah, but it's real.
But if you're getting the entertainers, if you throw a party and Marshall and Ravi B come and pay you for the pleasure to perform and you lose money, they should fire you and the horse that you rode in on.
It's so true.
The only thing about carnival that is still bringing anything like an audience in Trinidad and Tobago is those little naked gyrating girls and the six-pack boys. That is it. If you take, somebody told me on Facebook, Brazil Carnival is only about sex. I told him every carnival is only about sex.
That's right.
Exactly.
And if you take sex out of Trinidad and Tobago Carnival, all you left with is some vexed calypsonians, Dean Akin and his 5 trucks, and Marshall Montano screaming, whore. That's all you're left with.
Bruh! Hey! Oh God, it's heat in the place, Trinidad. It's heat in the place. We just blessed it all with some ashes.
They have more people in Trinidad and Tobago who could recognize Nyla Blackman bottom than her face. And I just telling you,
Yeah.
that's what they're selling.
That is what they're selling.
Right.
Correct.
That's what they package.
Yeah.
Take the picture, Bumsy, first.
True.
You gotta turn your head around to include your face in the picture.
True.
That's what they're selling.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all about the look.
The 2 best songs for this carnival, Savannah Grass, and what's the name of Nadia Batson's song?
Oh, let me see you.
How Long I Ain't See It. That
How Long I
song?
Ain't See You.
And this boy too, who the name reached the final.
That's right.
Benjala.
Benjala.
Yeah. Banjala. However you pronounce the name. But that song, that's a different thing. But I talk about if you was even going to encourage, Kes and his people wrote a song that built a bridge from the nonsense of carnival and brought it back almost to mainstream it to the point where you could take Savannah Grass and play it in Australia and Canada and America. You could take it and play it in concert halls and opera facilities because it's a beautifully arranged, beautifully performed, the lyrical content, there was meaning, you could touch it, and it get beat by family.
Yeah, boy. And it's so true. What you just said is so true.
We like the rats that just eat the cocaine and the weed in the police station. That's all we work is to do. Eat and get high. Because if Trinidadians had self-respect this morning, because every single Trinbagonian think Savannah Grass is road march. Savannah Grass defined this carnival, but family win.
Yeah.
Savannah Grass defined the carnival, but take something and run with it, win Soca Monarch.
Yes, boy.
So we are a confused, gyrating people.
Yeah.
The last time we made sense as a country was what year it was? Was that 85? When did Rudder sing the hammer? When David Rudder stepped out of the shadow of Christopher Tambo Herbert and Charlie's Roots and stood as his own and sang and won Young King, Calypso Monarch and Road March, the triple threat. The last time that happened, the last time we were a sensible nation, that happened. But you had Savannah Grass. Tony Chowlenon needs to be interviewed to explain to the nation. He and Marshall and all of them laughing at the country this morning because they get a millions. And to a lot of people is, however you get your millions, take your millions.
Take it and run, yeah.
You're mashing up the country that we live in, but take your millions. You have a little more in the bank today.
That's right.
But you contributed nothing to the development of the country.
That's right. That is right.
You contributed nothing. And Tony Chowlenon needs to be interviewed to explain to Trinidad and Tobago how exactly the soca mafia works. How you get trucks that on the road whole day playing Savannah Grass to reach by the judging stage and change the song. Just so they could count it by the judging stage.
Yeah. But that's exactly what's taking place.
Road March should be judged by the masqueraders. Not no old men and women sitting down in a booth somewhere taking kickback and inducement. Not by no DJ truck that getting paid. Even if it's party tickets are getting paid. Look, your seasonal tickets. That's what this carnival is traded in nonsense, you know. Sexual favors and party tickets.
It's true.
And if that is what you rely on to make pronunciations, because if you didn't reward Savannah Grass and you rewarded Famalelelelelele next year, what is there to encourage anybody to sing a Savannah Grass?
There's nothing.
As opposed to our next version of that foolishness.
Exactly.
And I'm sorry.
Exactly.
And I'm sorry, and I apologize to all the people who waking up in a pool of dribble this morning, still drunk. They can't find where they was for the last 2 days, but they telling themselves I was happy. I was enjoying myself, no problem. If you woke up thinking that somehow was reflective of the best about somebody, tell me, live your best life. I'm thinking, if we was to talk about Trinidad and Tobago living its best life, what would that look like?
Carnival.
What version of Carnival, Janice?
What they're enjoying right now. Because that's what
the
they
reality
are.
of us living our best life.
But Janice, is that Carnival reflective of us? Nobody's excited.
But we have degenerated as a people. From where we used to be many, many years ago to what we are today, we have degenerated. I'm sorry to say it, but it's the truth. I mean, I sat there on that pavement and I watched people. And I kept asking myself, what will it take to bring these same people out to a protest? If we didn't have some trucks with some music and some alcohol flowing, they might come in to deal with the serious issues in Trinidad and Tobago. They're not coming. But anytime you say, okay, party time, everybody there.
Well, remember, the population has been conditioned this way for an extended period of time. No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Ask this morning.
Not at all.
Ask this morning.
It's identification.
After the glitter fades, Tony.
What happened?
When the money run out, when 2020 budget read and you realize they have no income that they come into you. When you realize that we spend out all the money, the heritage and the stabilization fund is no more. That we can't even go to the World Bank. The only thing left is IMF. When you realize that it's stipulations to operate your country, that you have no choice. And food start to get scarce. When Trinidad become like Venezuela, and you have to send your mother, your girlfriend, and your daughter to sleep with man to feed the family. Which country are you sending them to? Venezuela lucky that 7 miles north is Trinidad. And you could send your daughters here to take a man and send back 1,000. And right now they're enjoying it because blonde hair and blue eyes, if you have that, calling on big money. So if you have to pimp out your wife, this is the truth, you know. If you have to pimp out your mother and your daughter to send money back home, because make no mistake, that's what they're doing, you know.
That's right.
These girls not here prostituting themselves.
Just for the
Just
Kicks
for
and
kicks,
giggles,
you know.
yeah,
Them then come
yeah.
here to take Trini man.
There's a mission. There's a mission.
They feeding the family.
Correct.
That's right.
Correct.
On the back, but they feeding the
Correct.
family because they have no choice. So Trini men, all you have pride. Trini man, all you just play all you have pride. When you have to negotiate a deal, this is Pornhub, this is real life.
Yeah.
When you have to negotiate a deal to sell your daughter or your wife, which country you going to? When you watch these engineers and med students and law students hushing them out and scrubbing yard in Trinidad, these old Venezuelans,
Yes.
because they're not stupid people.
They're educated people.
Their country collapsed below them.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Their country collapsed.
That's right.
So they're here doing the most menial work.
That's right. Yeah.
When you're on a construction site, the boss of all subcontracts is a black man or Indian man generally. But all the workers Venezuelan. Because they're not hiring Chinese.
Yeah.
That's
For
right.
two reasons. If you give a Venezuelan a job in Trinidad and you tell him your job today is to move 100 bricks up that hill, he moving 200 bricks
Yeah.
up
That's
that hill.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you hire a Trini, he moving 50 bricks and saying, boss, you see the rain falling.
You're lucky if you get 50.
No, but
That's serious.
boss,
And I sorry Trinidad for we to be laughing or saying that.
My third grandmother died this week.
Yeah,
My fourth
but it's
one.
true.
No, but
Yeah.
So when you reach to the point, because Chinese who getting away with that nonsense here, when you reach an Uncle Sam land,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're holding on 2 and 3.
wait guys, when they call and they say, a running later, boss, snow falling,
Yeah.
and he say, take your time.
Yeah.
When you come, your pink slip is in your locker.
Yeah.
That's right.
Simple
Work
thing.
starts here at 6:45.
Yeah.
That's right.
Simple thing.
Work starts.
Yes, yes. Don't get me wrong. It have some good trainees out there that does the job and stands.
No, there's learn quick time.
Yes.
There's learn quick time. And if you reach outside there with family and friends who was outside there before you, the first thing they tell you, they say Trinidad.
That's right.
Don't play the fool.
Yeah, but even without family having to tell you, Philip, from the time you reach there, you assimilate yourself
'Cause you
one
see.
time. You have to.
'Cause you see.
You don't have a choice
Because you see.
because you yourself know this ain't Trinidad.
But you can't wine low no more.
yeah, yeah.
You can't be
Yeah.
drunk out in the road.
Yeah.
You can't be bad driving people and pulling them over on the highway.
Can't piss on the side of the road.
Because people will visit you from the
Yes,
state with,
yes,
with silver
yes,
bracelets.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
And Chinese who don't know that the money that is being shoveled out of the treasury right now, that going to foreign jurisdictions, so some zealous little politicians and businessmen and lawyers and accountants could live their best lives.
Yeah.
Oh God, them living nice.
Yeah, champagne, private
You
jets.
see their daughter and the son post on Facebook.
Yeah, on yacht.
I watching them, you know.
Yes, I'm telling you.
Carnival done, we going skiing.
That's right.
Going up in Aspen.
Yes.
How daddy get that money with the two little restaurant? Don't worry about that now, man.
Just get it.
Daddy red and ready.
Yeah.
Mommy yellow and unsteady.
Yeah.
We have it nice.
Yeah.
No problem.
That's right.
But at some point, the glitter fades. At some point, when people say, let the devil take tomorrow, that's cool. Until tomorrow comes. And the devil show up.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Don't be vexed.
Then they start the ball.
Don't be vexed. We're balling for.
The balling, of course.
Don't ball.
Never
Stay
reach.
quiet. Get the Vaseline and just relax.
There are people who don't want to hear this kind of talk now.
Yeah.
But I remember when I watched Titanic, the show, the characters that stuck with me, that actually struck me the most,
Violent
was the
players.
violinist.
yeah. That would
When
really
they
would.
realize,
Yeah.
when they realize they're dead,
See what he has.
when they realize the ship sinking,
Yeah.
that if they run screaming like chicken without a head all around the ship trying to get,
And then one.
or you
thing.
play a violin,
Yeah.
same dead,
Yeah.
same ice water.
True.
They
So
say,
true.
fellas, we do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that struck me the most. And I realized we are like those violent players. We are like those
Yeah,
violent
yeah,
players.
we do.
Because there are people this morning drunk in Manzanala. They're on Maracas Beach, cooling down. No problem. Hey, far be it from me to judge what you do with your life. All I am saying is, when you're ordering, the waiter and the waitress are wrong. When you're eating and you're drinking and you're having a time, let the emotion that you express be proportional to it when the bill come. Don't be vexed when the bill come. You enjoyed it.
That's right.
There is a cost to this.
To that, lick your fingers, man.
Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Lick the plate.
Yeah.
There is a cost to being so irresponsible this morning. You have a government in office that has no clue what they're doing. None. They are contract mafia members who operate these politicians like they're private pet ponies. They send them to the parliament to do their bidding, not yours.
Yeah.
It is an illusion of democracy. This exchange between the PNM and the UNC, and you don't want to hear it, no problem. The devil will take tomorrow. And he waiting. The devil will take tomorrow. You feel you could go wrong, Pitch Lake, and argue with them Chinese?
Yeah.
You think we have this attitude? We have this boy, when you see it, they get me vexed and my man, blood rush up in my head. Do that now.
Yeah.
That's talk.
Yeah.
That's talk. The real owners of the country that taking it while you drunk and whining. You owned it. It was yours freely. God bequeathed the most blessed land in the entire world, the center of the universe, Trinidad and Tobago. Because if you look at the whole world map, spread it out and say, if I was God and this was a game, I was going to say, go. The people in Trinidad had an advantage.
Yeah.
It's like a head start.
Yeah.
Let me see what I give Trinidad and Tobago. I give them more natural resources per capita than just about any nation in the world.
In the world, yes.
I make them the only tropical island outside the hurricane belt.
Right.
But I give them tropics, so them have snow and nothing to worry about.
Right. Rain and sun.
Rain and sun.
Simple thing.
And more rain as water than you could do. You could do anything with it. The whole country could be a water park.
Like a drunk in water.
13 months a year. 13 months a year could run a water park. You waste water.
Yeah.
Wash the neighbor dog while you're washing your dog. Trinidad had a head start. Yeah. Beautiful people, fertile land. You spit a pawpaw seed here today, tomorrow, a pawpaw tree growing. Tomato, Portugal, and pawpaw fighting to grow in the same spot.
Yes.
You burn down your cocoa plantation. A new type of cocoa grew out of blue. Yeah. When God said go, Trinidad had a head start.
Yeah. Yep. So true, boy. So true.
So God went in the kitchen to make some eggs and bacon and waffles.
He come back.
God come back.
He said, who's this PNM?
What going on? I'll give all your head start. How all you owing everybody?
Yeah.
And why China have a flag on you?
Yes, brother.
That picture I sent you, Philip.
Yes, brother.
A certain politician
Janice,
in China.
But that one hit hard.
Janice, 10 years ago, China started construction of the largest embassy complex in the West, in Marabal, opposite Country Club. Take the time and build that. That's no fly-by-night little structure. Then build that. The Chinese is thinking thousands of years, you know. That's the only nation in the world whose culture have something called a 1,000-year egg as something on the menu. That you make eggs, wrap them in oil and stuff, and bury it for generations to come.
Not only that, build like a fortress.
Yeah, build like a fortress for sure. But I'm just saying that they think in doing things
way ahead of time.
Generations. They won't enjoy it, you know. When you make the effort to make 1,000-year eggs, it's not for you.
That's right.
You not digging that up to eat it, to enjoy it.
Correct.
The people who get to taste 1,000-year eggs, while they're eating it, they're paying homage to the ancestors that did this. China don't play the fool. China sees global hegemony as their ultimate destination. That's China's mission. And it must worry them that India, the ghetto of the world, the call center of the world, the people that, all comedians, despite the politically correct movement, you could make fun of Indian people and Indian people don't quarrel. Because slowly, over 30 years, their vision for their billion people bore fruit. And today, India has the largest economy in the world. 5 years I've been talking that India the largest middle class, second only to China in economic size. Now, India has the largest economy in the world. You can't catch them again. I tell you why you can't catch them. Because they didn't make the economy like Taiwan and China. Right. They didn't make it on plastic and cheap. India made their economy on the bedrock foundation of the information age. They own it. Mm-hmm. Google, Amazon, Facebook, run by Indian people. Mm-hmm. India puts out more engineers. The India Institute of Technology is 100 miles ahead of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology that used to be the benchmark. India didn't play. People will forget or remember that they used to have a Lotus 123 when there was an Excel and there was a something Word and all those programs that came out and when you used to dial, we used to laugh. I remember watching the comedians make fun that when you dial tech support, there's an Indian accent answering the phone.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I remember those days.
Gillette tried to copy it, went down in Chagaramas, rent the convention center under Kamla, called something one, I can't remember what it was, Telecom One or some stupidness, hire poor people and put them to answer the phone as a call center here. But they didn't have a vision. They was just exploiting the labor. India was not exploiting the labor. India was seeding you. They were seeding you to move you forward, because if you have a vision for your people and you realize that it is the collective that takes us forward, we are the expression of this country is the success and the ability of the people. In Trinidad and Tobago, the vision for Trinidad and Tobago, make no mistake, the contract mafia, the 1%, the vision they have for Trinidad and Tobago is laborers and consumers. They don't want you bright. They don't want you thinking. They don't want you questioning the nonsense of Keith Rowley and Kamla Prasad Bisaseno. They want you to find a way to defend the bullshit of Basdeo Pandey. Basdeo Pandey, who led a marauding gorge through the treasury. Ish and Steve and Brian and Russell and the crew. Because when Manning realized that you could institutionalize corruption, because Manning in his first term was a different man to Calder Hart Manning. Calder Hart was Manning, bad man, extraordinary. And when Manning realized that Pandey show him how to thief, Pandey ride sugar workers back, talk about laboring in the vineyards to get into office, to thief money. Lawrence Dupre and all of these fellas, what they get away with in this country. Any other nation, look at Madoff. Look at the guy who invented 2020 cricket. What's his name? Stanford, whatever. He in jail.
That's right. Very orange.
The man who invented 2020 cricket.
But he was in bubble. The man was in corruption. He was doing underhanded business, and he is, like you said, in jail. So why are our guys not in jail?
How could Dupre and crew get away with? How do you raid a company beyond the paid up share capital and the supervisor of insurance and the central bank governor and not one minister of finance be aware if you are the largest financial company in the country? Clico was able to buy Republic Bank. Republic Bank is the biggest bank outside of America in the Western world. And Clico was able to buy that up with change. I remember watching the last bastion of the Chamber of Commerce fight. They was talking in Westmoreland and Goodwood Park. Black people taking white people business. That's how they referred to Clico buying Republic Bank. I remember there was a meeting of a board of directors to make a decision on somebody pull the fire extinguisher thing. The sprinklers come on and alarm in Republic Bank head office. It was a street fight. Clico was able to buy at the height of Clico. They were able to buy. How do you raid a company more than the paid up share capital? How did the value of the loss exceed the value of the company? You're dealing with credit. You're dealing with credit. You are trading in money. You're an insurance and an investment company. So your stock in trade is money. Where did the money go?
That's right. People money. Not even his money, but people money.
But where did it go? And where was the supervisor of insurance? Where was the central bank governor? Where was the minister of finance? At that time, it was Teixeira, and everybody want to demonize Teixeira because she run and take out she money when she realized what was going. The bank on fire. I go and take my money first, and then I call in the fire engine. That was wrong. That's insider trading. A jailable offense anywhere in the civilized world.
Yeah.
That's right.
But she's not the only one to blame. Wendell Motley, Brian Quaitong, Selby Wilson knew. These fellas knew.
That's right.
They realized that Trinidadians were able to be fleeced. That our posture was a puppy. Lie down, spread your legs, rub my belly. And if you were devious enough, you could take anything. When Kamala and crew call Max Richards and say, Max, we're coming by you. Tomorrow is a public holiday. We're coming tonight to pass a law. And Max Richards, the president of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, didn't say that could wait till Tuesday. We're not at war. There is no urgency for that law. Don't drag me in your bullshit. When Kamala and crew went to pass Section 34 in the dead of night, they and Max Richards knew what they were doing.
Yeah,
Of
they
course.
knew. They knew. Of course.
Max Richards was not a fool.
Yeah.
No.
He knew the president of the Republic was in the conspiracy. And that is stink. So when I read a release put out by this president to her workers to say Ash Wednesday is a working day, I want to say with all due respect, ma'am, if there are any workers in this country that could stay home today, it is President's House workers. Because we don't need President's House. And we don't need you on that job. We don't need it. It serves no purpose that cannot be done by other senior public office holders in this country. It is a waste of public funds.
Yeah, well, it's just to ensure the seat there. So this way, job for the boys again, right? Job for the boys.
But this is a waste of public funds. And Trinidad and Tobago needs to understand nothing happened by magic. Right now in this country, the PNM using Gary Griffith to bring down the illusion that is a crime country. And they're doing that thinking. And again, Rowley, this little heads up as a critical thinker. Because what you considering a victory, brother, when you lower that bar, the fear of crime in Trinidad and Tobago, that is blocking us from seeing everything else. When Gary brings that down, Janice, the people will see past it at all the other things that we should have been paying attention to.
Yes.
That's right.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Let the man do your work.
I think the media knows. I think the media and those who own the media knows they've become irrelevant.
They're just trying to buy time right now.
No, they become irrelevant because nothing they say is of value to people. And unless you're speaking to the stupid, and this is the better, the PNM and the UNC are betting that there are more stupid people in this country than intelligent people. And we are betting that there are more intelligent people than stupid people. Because if only stupid people vote, and if only stupid people vote based on black and Indian politics, we will fail as a nation. We're tottering. We're tottering on the edge. Right now, we're on the latrine seat. We're about to fall in. We're tottering, and it's either we rescue ourselves by the choices that we make, or we fall straight down in our cesspool. We're taking a break to pay some ads. Pay some bills.
A paid political program on M104.7 FM.
Disclaimer. More FM Limited, its owners and associates, accepts no responsibility for statements made by the talk show hosts or their guests. More FM Limited does not endorse any of the information provided during this commercially booked segment as the truth. That you have to judge for yourself. We, however, reserve the right to question statements made. But in this time of misinformation, government-controlled media, and corruption, it is sometimes hard to get the truth. But we must try. It is not our intention to discriminate or annoy anyone. We believe it is our constitutional right to free speech, to voice our opinion, and our duty to the population and country to expose the truth. More FM Limited takes no responsibility for the opinions of others.
And we're back inside Trinidad and Tobago. It's Ash Wednesday. The name of today's show is After the Glitter Fades. Janice.
Yep.
Did you see anything?
What's that?
Did you see anything over the last 2 days to make you feel that Trinidad Carnival has any substance or value? Did you see anything?
Not really, to be honest. I mean, I went to Soca Monarch, and I was so disappointed because the amount of tata that was sung, especially for the power section, I told my husband, I said, why am I wasting my time here? This crap that's coming across the stage is ridiculous. And it was one song after the next. And why I said it was tata is because it was one line sung over and over and over.
No lyrical
Right?
content.
And Granny, right? I was so disappointed because she just, I mean, it was such a waste of time. Absolute waste of time. I mean, the word granny now for me is just not, she has just taken that name and made it totally irrelevant. Right? Because you have this granny on stage with her breasts showing, her fake breasts, and singing this tata song for the whole time of period that she was there on stage. You know, you talk about how this guy pick up and run with it. Won. I was there. We stayed to hear him sing, and I could tell you, if I was a judge, I would have given it to him as well.
You would have.
Yes, because
He
his
was the least of
presentation.
the least of the evils.
Right. Well, not just that, but his presentation was good.
Right.
The diction was good, right? And he came across. His presentation was well done. The others, unfortunately, was not so well done. Because they, as a judge as well, you look for the power as well for the singers. Some of them lack the power in their voice because they've been singing in so many parties. Voice gone. You can't come and sing a song at that kind of show and your voice gone and expect to win a title. Sorry, you can't.
But it happens here in Sweet TNT.
I know. I know. I was very disappointed.
Lots of things
And
happen,
the thing about it too is you had people, I was in the VIP area, you had one caterer, so the long lines to wait to buy food, even drink, you had to wait for a while, right? I mean, and the place was empty where we were. It's half full, I should say, half full.
Carnival just needs such an evolution. I mean, it's a shame to see that our own instrument that has been made, the last instrument to be made in the last century, which is the pan, you have foreign nations and companies that's maximizing and benefiting from our instrument, where we didn't take that initiative for ourselves as a nation. You know, look at our tourism where Carnival is concerned. Like, you know, we're supposed to have 10, 20 cruise ships parked up in both Trinidad and Tobago during the 2-week period of Carnival. And that in itself, just for those couple days those ships are here, would drop at least $1 billion on the ground. And again, that can contribute to the economy, to our GDP. And boy, look, Trinidad, you know, none of this is rocket science, you know, and like Philip says all the time, it's not like they didn't know. They knew. From day one, they knew what needed to be done to actually do for the people, to actually move the country forward. But the agenda was not about the people. It was all about the financiers and the partners and who and what and how we could thief out that treasury. That's just the name of the game, and is why people would see us and say, well, yeah, all you're going into politics and try to thief out the treasury too. No, partner. We not on that. Right? Because number one, it had no money to thief. And number two, if it's not saved now, Trinidad and Tobago, well, again, welcome Venezuela. Welcome the life of Venezuela right here. When the country fall apart, government fall apart, no police and no security service here for the people or anything like that, and it's every man for himself. Let me see what's going on happen now, man. Remember, Venezuela on our continent it's next to other countries, whereas we is water, you know. So I hope people could swim. Yeah, because that could be the only way again off the island.
Janice,
Yeah.
In February 2013, I wrote something. So it'll be dated a little bit. But the point it makes, and I wrote something about Carnival in 2010 called A Look in the Mirror, Failing Deliberately. I wrote in 2011, Losing the Battle of the Beads, Where Carnival Gone. And I wrote in 2013, Mac Culture. Mac Culture. I want to read that one for you.
Mac Culture?
Mac Culture. Like McDonald's? Mac Culture. So it's a little bit dated. It'll remind you of some things that happened then, but the gist of the point that it makes, and I want to share this, right? And as the bigger picture is extrapolate this to the bigger picture, the management of the country and everything. But people want to talk Carnival and where Carnival going and where it went. And if you say that it died and how it died,
right.
We've known this for a long time.
For a very long time.
This station that we in, Robert Amar, has done more for the culture than most people, and plenty of people wouldn't know that, you know. I know Shadow. Well, I knew him. I knew Winston Bailey. I knew him personally. And I knew him through Robert Amar. And there was times that Winston Bailey, and they wouldn't tell you this, there was time Winston Bailey used to come to Robert. Robert and I friends decades now. And he don't want to share this kind of information. And the kind of information I have about Robert Amar and the kind of person that he is, what he's done for the culture. For fellas like Winston Bailey, he kept Shadow going. He kept Shadow. Yeah, there was a lot of them. There was a time Machel Montano used to live in Robert Amar's studio. He has been instrumental. In fact, I could think of no better minister of culture than Robert Amar, because he is as Indian as you could be, but he understands black culture better than most people. He has given Pan Trinbago a home for decades. People don't know this. Pan Trinbago office was in Robert Amar building.
Yes. Yes, that's true.
For decades. For decades. This is not about fly-by-night people. So when I align myself with Robert Amar, I know who I'm dealing with. And if Robert Amar, not this jackass gypsy, this self-serving clown, who don't understand that you can't be the head of NCC and take part in an NCC event. The same way Fair and Lions didn't know if you run in Soca Monarch, don't hire Fair and Lions, man. I don't care that you know them.
Oh, God.
I don't care. Transparency.
That's what we lack in Trinidad, unfortunately. We lack that.
Yes.
We could excuse any kind of bullshit in Trinidad, you know. Mac culture. So, as I say, this was written in 2013. So, the big news for the Carnival is the Great Super Blue is back, and I wonder how he feels to find them, all the others, exactly where he left them since Get Something and Wave. Machel's intermittent whore and Bungee's insistence on adding fire to every song is not the answer, but ask the question, where's Soca gone? The few bright sparks that have come along over the years, people like Sherwin Winchester, who I swore was going to take the thing further, and Colonel and Patrice Roberts, whose brief glimpse of talent would stamp your name. This is Patrice Roberts. Look what she become. Look what the Carnival do to that child. Anyway, Colonel Roberts, Kitchener's son, fade away. But Colonel Roberts is what saved Machel Montano. You know, Colonel Roberts, when Ecstatic was over, it's Colonel Roberts that turned the road for them. And if you listen to Machel over the years, you realize that when he became an artist, it was Colonel Roberts. And he gone, we back to her. Stamp Your Name seems to have opted for cashing out over creativity instead. Broke hearts more than barriers. Precision Wine and everything else Kes sings is excellent grouping music, but it is not soca. And while it delivers profit to investors, it does nothing for the people nor the culture. The rest, well, they are at best cover bands. No, the development of the soca art form that began with Shorty Merchant, Maestro Nelson and few others peaked on top of a speaker box, sending a signal. Remember that? Remember when Super Blue climb up the speaker boxes to sing Signal to Lara, but has stopped there since. The musical crack being peddled to the masses for profit is not art, and no amount of screaming that it could make it so. Listen to the lyrics of Soca Baptist or Caribbean Man and tell me how those come to be in the same genre with han. Explainers Lorraine was so powerful, even King David had to have a go at it. I remember the night David Rudder became king of Carnival after winning Young King on his way to winning everything else that could be won that year. I remember the North Stand and the Grandstand freeze as one as he invoked the spirit of Rudolph Charles to a drum beat. I could still hear him chant, Chalo was right here in Panorama, right here in the Savannah. The judges knew right then what every other artist that night knew as well, that we were watching royalty. That he went on to bridge Kitchener with Sparrow by taking the Road March 2 was almost poetic. But had we known then that it was the start of the end, then we might have paid better attention. We've learned to appreciate mediocrity and crap since, because that is all we've been given for years. Poison Savage, Second Image, Ecstatic ushered in a new era of instant gratification carnival. And while this is 2013,
well, I'm listening.
and while it looked and sounded like the real thing, it never really was. We took brass out of the mass because brass required musicians, but no keyboard will ever punch a note like brass could. Panorama survives, but it has nothing to do with Pan, and the savvy folks at Pan Trinbago know this only too well. It is a money spinner and a big one at that, but it does nothing for Pan because 90% of the people going to Panorama have no interest in Pan. Is that money used for the development of the instrument we claim? Since then we lost it. The old people have a saying: when pleasure is all that remains, it will cease to remain a pleasure. Carnival used to be an expression of a people, a Lego that culminated in a joyous party that Denise Plummer said overflowed into the street. Sadly, everything of value have been stripped away and only the noisy street party is left, like going to a macabre wedding, devoid of a bride or groom. What replaced our culture is now made in China, and everything else wants a sponsor and is chasing dollars. The residents that used to line the pavements to watch the mass have all shut their doors tight against the noise, and those who can move away for the week usually do. Outside the gyrating feather wearers, Carnival has become a bother and a nuisance. But perhaps his song Super Blues is aptly named because even if he halfway delivers, the Carnival is going to sing hallelujah. We had some of the richest culture in the world and we threw it away for a whore and a thong. You want fries with that?
Guys,
Deep,
on that
deep,
note, we
deep.
gotta go pay some bills.
Yeah, boys.
The journey, the anticipation, the connection. It all comes together in one moment of perfection. And when it's over, we can't wait to do it again. Campari, come together. Must be 18 years or older. Drink responsibly.
This is a serious problem in Trinidad. What is diabetes?
There are two forms. Diabetes type 1, when your body stops producing insulin. Type 2 diabetes is a result of poor lifestyle. Type 2 diabetes is associated with being overweight, having high blood pressure, at higher risk for heart disease. It is a very serious problem.
Do not wait until it's too late. Let Omega XL be the first step in the right direction.
Get your Omega XL today. Live long, stay strong with Omega XL.
2 exceptional concerts.
The Calypso Queen of the World,
Her Majesty.
Calypso Rose in concert. You must be there, TNT, to see our Queen in Carnival 2019 featured concert.
Who you looking for? You will cry no more.
Also, the King of Soca, Machel Montano.
The icon Super Blue.
New generation stars Nyla Blackman,
Ola Tunji.
Second star Chutney stars Neval Chaitlal and Nishad M. Your MC is Hotmouth Granny. Carnival Thursday, February 28th, Napa, Port of Spain, 8:30 p.m. Ash Thursday, March 7th, Shaw Park Complex, Tobago, 8:30 p.m.
Get tickets now online at ticketfederation.com.
Cachets, Leaves, Crosby's, Hideout Clothing, Extra Food Supermarket, Bellini's Drug Mart, All Penny Savers, Tobago.
For more info, call 685-5239.
Calypso Rose in concert.
Forever young.
Don't miss it. Kindly supported by the Ministry of Community Development, Culture and the Arts and the Tobago House of Assembly.
That's it.
No,
We're
but
back inside.
Continue that conversation. When Ricky Martin sang Livin' La Vida Loca and put a driving Latin beat to American music, it created a frenzy.
No, but
it created a frenzy for Latin music
on a global scale, brother.
Jennifer Lopez was able to say, on a global
scale.
Brother, Living La Vida
yes.
Loca. That changed musical history. And Jennifer Lopez, this woman that died, what was her name? Who was murdered, the actual Latin singer. She was Selena.
Yeah.
When Jennifer Lopez, because nobody knew Jennifer Lopez before she played Selena.
Selena, correct, yeah.
And she was able to sing
the song That's Selena's song. Yeah, and she hit all the.
It was a perfect follow.
Yeah, it was.
It destroyed. If you remember, American music at the time was going Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera. It was
all
going,
poppy, pop.
It was all the Disney come of age.
Yeah.
It was all Backstreet Boys and
boy bands and yeah.
What was the next one that was like?
Remember Menudo? But that was like way back.
Actually, you just hit the point. That is, Ricky Martin was from Menudo.
Yeah.
Ricky Martin was from Menudo. And I don't understand, because we've had opportunities over the years. They've known Calypso since World War II. Drinking rum and Coca-Cola was a stolen Calypso, you know. They stole that song. The Andrews Sisters, and I try to remember who was the black singer that sang it as well. They made the equivalent of millions in royalties from a Trinidad song that Trinidadians were never given. But there's so much history about this country. They wrote a song, just the two of us, and they have Pan in that song. For the first time a song went #1 on the charts was Just the Two of Us. We could make it if we tried.
Yeah.
Just the two of us. That song was written for Trinidad and Tobago Tourist Development Company. They refused to pay for it.
Oh my goodness.
And they released it as a song and it went to #1.
Yeah.
This entire history of Trinidad.
We going clear.
Missteps, mistakes, and
one after the next.
Watch me. It is sickening. I'm telling you. But like I was saying before on the break, you know, coming back here 2005, I being from the music industry abroad, you know, I was extremely excited moving here to Trinidad, knowing we had our own music, our own artists, everything was being developed here, written here, you know, and I dealt more with electronica music, which basically had the same beats per minute as we soca and whatnot. And I am saying that the evolution of our music could have taken place with the bridging and infusion of a more internationally accepted music. Not to say that we're going to veer away from our original form of production of our soca,
Right.
but my point is to be able to have local producers, even producers on the international stage, having access of our music and being able to do other genres of the same track, where now it can now enter into other areas, other demographics, other parts of the world. You understand? Because again, at the end of the day, it's about exposure. And when somebody likes a song, I can't tell you how many songs that I myself have done as a remix, and people hear the remix, they love it, not realizing the original song was maybe something contemporary or like a jazz piece or even an R&B piece. And that in itself was a form and an avenue for them to be exposed to the original track. You understand? And the origin from that. And again, I don't even understand what was going on and on what still is going on here in Trinidad, especially where our culture and our entertainment and arts are concerned, because we have such untapped talent here on the ground in Trinidad, boy, that if we were to really home that and be able to create a proper mechanism to export this around the world, let me tell you again, boy, hey, watch me, these people do not know what the hell they are doing for the last 57 years. And that is sad, because they are so proud to talk about they have masters, bachelors, doctorate,
more degrees than a thermometer.
You understand? And as yet you are making such missteps. You can put a child in parliament and they can pick sense some nonsense and make better
you could train
decisions.
a chimpanzee to sell McDonald's. You could do that.
Boy, is just absolutely unreal. But then, you know, you're talking the finance minister talking about ban your belly, we have money, treasury, and this and that and the other. But again, is anything being done to try to insert money into the economy, to try to develop again tourism, where we should have had for this carnival 20 cruise ships, 5,000 people a piece on each one of them ships, docked here in Trinidad, docked in Tobago. It could be, you can create docks throughout the actual nation, right or wrong. Trinidad, you're creating docks, so this way you have point of entries with cruise ships that you can enter into certain areas and other parts of the country, where again you inserting monies. Understand what's going on, man. It's about a national development. It's 41 constituencies. It's about if you are promoting your country, like Philip says, our ambassadors are supposed to be either bringing foreign investment or selling the nation, selling our tourism, selling what we have, like our carnival, our music, our arts, our crafts. Listen, man, listen.
In the last one, I referred to an article that I just found. If you're vexed that one was 2013, this one is from 2011.
God, you're going to upset me even more now, boy.
It's called Finding My Way Back Home. People are asking me to share the articles, so I'm sharing them. And it's only because, and I'm only sharing them because it's an accounting of the history that this conversation didn't happen yesterday. So this is from 2011. It's called Finding My Way Back Home. Tonight I stumble upon a talk show with Peter Minshall, Pat Bishop, Mangal Patasa, and Dennis Sprangalang Hall being interviewed by Renee Cummings. And out of the mouths of these stalwarts and giants, I have found hope and shame all at the same time. Hope that such knowledge still existed and could be discussed and conjured and released into the ether. Shame that it was being thrown like pearls before people who, if not yet swine, properly well on our way. For a brief moment, I fantasized about being back at school and having these four for professors, thinking how enraptured at class I would be, the fountain of learning gushing forth history and promise. Imagine Minshall having the bold-faced temerity to suggest to the nation that children should be taught to read music at the same time they were learning ABCs, so that Wagner could be interpreted on the harmonium and the sitar and the pan could be integrated into orchestras. How interpretive dance should be primary school learning, so that when we produce soca warriors, it would mean so much more than just a catchy marketing slogan and would embody the spirit of a people. We talked about that just now. Minshall, if you only know what you did there to this dreamer, this idealist, this romantic. The vision you conjured for the people was so ethereal, so holy, that it caused Pat to buff you, to tell you that since the last time you bring a mass, the mass stopped dead. Imagine Professor Hall chimed in on that, saying that we are a nation of copycats, so development gets stunted and reinvention and mimicry. Lord, Father, I was dizzy. Truth to power? Please, this was truth to truth. I know of what they speak. I was alive when Stingray pranced onto the Savannah stage and stopped Trinidad dead in its tracks, only to be eclipsed by the Midnight Robber. Then the experiments with grand sales that everyone else making sales for the next 5 years. And then Tantan and Saga Boy, which caused the rest of them to say, forget it. Bring the glue gun and some beads, yes? I wanted to stop people passing by and say, shh, listen to what is being said here. Magic is being woven. Listen, you'll almost be able to understand what God himself meant. Mangal Patasa talking about collaborating with Tanka to deconstruct Calypso and birth it again with an East Indian flavor. Look at the madness that chutney become. And contrast that with the rape of the senses that was the chutney soca monarch tomfoolery. And you would need to restrain yourself. Sprangalang said the people who in charge, like all of them on vacation, that thing looking like what it's supposed to be but nothing there, and I say, yes, I am not alone. The professor went on to say how Manning made a fool of everybody with skyscrapers that killed the essence of the country, causing Minshall to chime in how foreign shoes can't be good as locally made shoes. And if you understood the analogy of giving a woman the right pair of shoes and she could conquer the world, you would understand that it is the very identity of our people they were talking about. Look thing. Patasa said, let the young people experiment with the music. And Hall asked him, how far you prepared to let them go? If music have the ability to soothe the savage beast, we're making music that could wake up Alsatian. Get him. How the music in a frenzy, this is what Hall say. And if that is the rhythm of our nation, then our nation in trouble. Look at what's happened since 2011 to 2019. This was a conversation that we should have had. They all agreed in the most part that the culture was not being saved or preserved, and only what could get money for was developing, while the other half dying. And I sitting here shaking. Hold on a second. We will be taking your calls soon. Just mash our brakes. They all agreed that in the most part that the culture was not being saved or preserved, and only what could get money for was developing, while the other half dying. And I sitting there shaking my head in disgust, talking back to the TV, like if they could hear me telling them I telling people that long time now. Pat Bishop said a country that does not know its own culture deserves a Coca-Cola wake, which was saying in 12 words what I meant when I wrote culture in your preference. Minshall said that we cannot find our identity in any 2020 foolishness. How third world doesn't become first world just so. How the people have to grow into their own expression, and the only place to look for us is in us. To which Professor Hall added that from the moment the Trinidad flag was flown for the first time, we were already in trouble, and I felt like if I could have paused it, I was going to get a drink. This was too much truth to take in and process all at once. How Christ and Buddha were symbols, not to divide the people, but to inspire them to greatness. Pat spoke of an understanding of dance from the position of musical interpretation, and all agreed, as do I, that our culture is being destroyed by competition, sponsorship, and monetizing. I switched off when the caller started calling because I selfishly did not want to dilute the seed knowledge I just received with drivel. Regardless how good the intention, no disrespect intended. In my not so humble opinion, when the giants are speaking, hush, you might learn something. I want to thank Renee Cummins for assembling this pantheon of experience. This is 2011. And I want to ask that this be moved from the confines of a studio and into a classroom and a lecture series of grades. I would pay all-inclusive prices for that. I came away from this experience bigger. Not only did I know more, I dared to take what I now knew and dream it further. This, more than anything, is the end result of this sort of experience. That if you drink what is offered, you yourself become transformed. And you not only appreciate your own artistic self, you believe once more in your own authentic expression. In every material way, I know in my heart that I am an artist. My canvas is words. I also know, didn't I always know, that I have been using my canvas with the best of intentions for the wrong purposes for far too long. This experience, this conversation has inspired me to find my soul again, and I'm going to pursue my masterpiece, Progressive Empowerment Party. God! I said this into the heavens tonight and hope it finds each of you. Thank you. But Janice, that conversation,
that's heavy day too.
No, but listen, if you could CNC3 have that buried somewhere,
right?
If they could find that and play that, if you, I mean, when they were talking, the man said, Minchell said, now I tell you, if you raise a child, you know, in the first 3 years of a child's life, they could learn 9 language, 10 musical instruments. Children have all the neuron pathways, everything, all the bridges are there. They could learn and pick up.
That's right.
That's right.
We teaching them nonsense, nip and fluff. Minchell said, teach them to read music. We
at the young tender age.
Tony.
The
hardest thing that humans learn, the hardest thing that we learn is to read and write, because it contradicts how our minds work. We don't think in words. We don't think in letters. If I tell you, think of a pink gorilla, you will find a way to conjure that image in your mind. I was telling somebody a story once, and I was trying to explain to them, if I tell you, I just watch a man break a traffic light, the magic of taking that image from my head to your head, you saw an intersection.
Right.
It may not have been the intersection I was thinking about.
Right.
You saw a car. You saw a man driving.
Yeah.
I don't know if in your image it was day or night. I don't know if there had other cars. I don't know if it was raining or sun was shining. I just said, I saw a man break a traffic light, and you saw a vision of that in your head. And in my mind, I was thinking about a man on a ladder with a hammer breaking a traffic light, and we miscommunicated.
Yeah, boy, look at that.
We miscommunicated. Because what you saw isn't what I was saying. The power of words is supposed to build a bridge for images to leave my head and get into yours. Children have the ability to absorb at a rate adults never could. We lose that as we get older. Our brains get hard. We lose certain connections. Left brain, right brain is not foolish talk. We are brain stem dwellers. What they call your lizard brain. Trinidadians, we like lizard brain livers. We just know, I like how that tastes, I like how that feel, give me that.
It's true. It's true.
It's sufferation make Brian Lara. If Brian Lara had an iPad and cable, you know Brian Lara?
That's right.
It's so true.
It's nothingness.
It's so true.
It's practicing to bat. Ask Brian Lara. He learned to bat with a ball bearing.
This boy, the javelin.
Keyshawn.
Yeah.
Pelte Mango.
Yeah.
That's no joke.
Yeah.
No, but Brian Lara, go and ask him. The reason he gets so good with a bat and a ball is he learned to bat with a ball bearing. Because he couldn't afford a ball. Dwight York, first coach that meet him out of Tobago, couldn't believe this boy had no shoes. Dwight York went on to be one of the most expensive footballers of all times. At the time, that trade, when Manchester United bought him, he was the most expensive footballer in the world. Dwight York, Trinidadian.
Imagine that.
A coach found him and said, I couldn't believe this child had no shoes. I had to pay for his shoes. If Dwight York had iPod and iPad, they have no Dwight York.
True.
We dumbing our people down.
Very much.
The seed of our future is being taught to whine low. We have brought ourselves as a nation and as a people to be conspicuous consumers only. I am working just hard enough to buy the drinks Friday on the avenue. We live in genitalia first. We're going forward to rub up on each other to see what we can get away with. And that shouldn't be a country that was formerly so wealthy that it created. We're still talking about what we created in the past. What we created in the last 50 years.
Yeah.
Pan, steel band, calypso, soca, rapso, chutney, all that. What we create in the last 50 years. I was watching Nigel Ferreira, and I want to tell Nigel, Nigel have a beautiful voice. Nigel is the voice of Christmas on the Hill. Johnny Gonzalez song. That's one of the most beautiful Christmas carols. Christmas on the Hill. Nigel Ferreira is that voice. Nigel Ferreira has been a rock singer in Trinidad and Tobago for about 50 years. And Nigel has keep cussing that they have no room for rock. And I want to tell Nigel, the reason they have no room for rock in Trinidad is because you were supposed to carve a space for rock in Trinidad. You were supposed to incorporate it into Trinidadianness, not isolate people into who like rock and who like soca. Rock and soca could have come together.
That's right.
Fusion, that is the key, because we are a multicultural country. And again, Philip, that is what I tell you when I came back in 2005. I swear, as a man who was in music, brother, for 15 years in America.
Understand. You are a music producer. How come we didn't get to bridge? The world gave Fireball #1 status. The world took these boys, Lean On. What's his name? Jazillionaire. What's his name?
Yeah, Presley Cock. That's his real name. But
the world took Lean On.
Yeah.
The world took Fireball. Fireball made Fireball. Fireball couldn't get a booking to sing in Blue Range Party, but Fireball was #1 on the dance charts for months.
Imagine we people.
We are so stupid in this country. We are insipid. We're bordering on Neanderthal. What did they do us?
What did they do us? That is
fighting about who make doubles. Come on, man. Take the thing forward. How is our street food? This bald-head man, what's his name, who come here? Eat shack and bake and says the best.
I know you're talking about. He go all over the world.
Bizarre Foods. Bizarre Foods. What's his name? The guy from Bizarre Foods. He come here and eat a shack and bake. And he didn't say this is the best shack and bake he ever tastes. He didn't say this is the best fish and bread he ever eat. The man said to the world that this is the best sandwich he has ever eaten. Now he's eaten worldwide. He went in the bush and eat lizard soup. I watch him eat bull testicles raw.
You're a real belly. But anyway,
come here. Come here and say that this is the best sandwich that he has ever eaten. And I wonder to myself, boy, we are such a joke of a country. You could get a KFC on every mother's corner, but you can't get a shack and bake. Nobody yet could find money to franchise Richards.
Yeah, boy.
Come now, man.
But it's true. That is very true.
In movie town, you could get Popeyes and KFC, but you can't get a shack and bake and a roti. We are fools.
That's right. That's right.
What the Sajuddin family? The same guy came here, and I was in that because I eat so much roti. When they come to Trinidad, they call me and ask me, come tell me about roti. Me and Kes was in that video.
Bring your belly, come.
Yeah, bring your belly and come. Me and Kes was in that. They was asking us to describe what a bus-up shot is. I tell them bus-up shot is an almost religious experience. Knowing how to get that piece of roti in your hand. This is Trinidad.
It's an art.
Listen, man, when you come through custom and you say you're a Trini and I doubt you, I hand in you a bus-up shot.
Yeah, you that there, brother. That is true.
I would give them a doubles.
That is true.
I would give them a doubles and say you eat that.
Doubles because there are some knife and fork doubles eaters that will fold back that paper nice. I want some people eat that like they eating it in good company.
It's true.
But you can't good company or a bus-up shot.
Yeah, a bus-up shot is a bus-up shot. You have to deal with it.
When you watch a Trini hold that piece of roti, and they don't understand the science that they're doing there, physics, the law of physics, and use that and make a temporary spoon to assemble the amount of taste that they want in their mouth at the same time, and eat the spoon too. That, how come? What is Sajuddin family doing in Santa Cruz, Tony? They invent lobster roti. They make bus up shot with curry oxtail. It happened on this radio station. Sharon Sajuddin, you can ask her. Because me and Robert Amar was making a joke. And I said the day they make curry oxtail, she called. She called me while we was on air. It was a Thursday. She said, we making it today. Come. Curry oxtail on the menu now, you know. Curry oxtail on the menu.
And it tastes good.
Look at that. But
why
all of that,
Sharon Sajuddin and family?
Yeah, don't have branches.
No, but we have KFC killing people in the country. No, a serious chance. We have Burger King, McDonald's, KFC, Popeyes. I mean, we have all. We have Little Caesars and Domino's Pizza and Pizza Hut. But our culture,
local food.
Yeah, where is it?
That people come from around the world and tell you what you have here is God business. When that man say that this is the best sandwich, let me find his name. I can't keep calling him that man. But when he said that this was the best sandwich he ever ate,
that said a lot. That said a whole lot. You know, where you feel foreigners coming here.
Andrew Zimmerman.
Yes. Mr.
When Andrew, I mean, the man interrupt himself talking to take our next bite. Tony, you see that video? He stand up there eating this shack and bake, and he mouth full. He become an instant chinny. You know, chinny that's talk with his mouth full. Man mouth full, he tell you, this is the best sandwich I've eaten in my life. Ketchup and thing all wrong in mouth. You see what they do them in Maracas? They have the toilet water flowing under their shack and bake hut. They've destroyed it. They built some concrete nonsense. So that shack and bake could fail. So that Prestige Holdings could go and open a Häagen-Dazs on the beach. You can't get Trini authentic. Now, I don't know why, but for some reason, my phone number close to B&M ice cream phone number.
Oh my goodness.
And I just know when a long weekend come in because my phone is at a ring. B&M? No. You have the wrong number. But B&M in the back of St. James by the temple. Go down there and watch the line. Now Eddie Iron and Original Dairy Bar tried to pretend for a while that they were the creators of Trinidad ice cream. But Trinidad ice cream, remember the ice bucket with the salt? And your mother have you turning and you know you're turning because you want ice cream. So you're walking for this ice cream. I remember my mother said to us making this, but we want the ice cream. That's how we turn in, boy. Smelling our salt. And the ice. But you can't get that in the gas station. NP and Unipet building America. I feel like an American gas station when I go in any of them and the two doors open, whoosh. I feel like a Yankee. But I can't find nothing Trini.
So true.
As big up Gerard Aboud from Starlight Drugs. Because Gerard Aboud in Starlight Drugs
have local.
Is the not just that you have local. If you go in Massey Hilo and you want to get a pack of kurma or tambran ball or papa ball or tolom, you gotta get on all fours.
Down on the ground, last shelf.
All kind of old bag. You gotta push thing all the way to find sugar cake. In Starlight Drugs in Diego Martin, in the lane of all the snacks, the last brightest corner he reserved for Trinidad food.
Well done.
And I get Gerard Aboud props for that.
Well done, Gerald.
Alongside the Chinese Communion and the Red Plum. All I remember salt prune dust. Janice, you ever eat salt prune dust? Mary on the corner of Anna Street. Mary should be an institution. I remember we used to buy Mary red mango. And it used to have the sauce in it. You tie off the bag and the first work is to make a little hole and suck out that.
You know what, Miss Boy? Chili BB. You remember Chili BB? Chili BB. You remember that, boy?
But look, Jack making big foot and big hand.
Yeah, but it's true.
We have 92 versions of cheeses. Cheese stick, cheesy, cheese Y. But we can't get local stuff.
Artificial cheese in a puff.
I was so shocked when I looked at a bag of corn curls and saw sugar was 4 grams.
Sugar
I
was
had 2
4
bars.
But the
and I just
MSG,
filled
when
up
I
my
show
sugar.
you MSG,
Yes.
monosodium glutamate.
Yes.
Now look here, sell your nonsense. I have no problem with that. But we as a people have to push back. We have to push back because we're losing our identity.
So true.
Let's take some calls, Janice. 628-9595, 628-3131.
I know there are some returning Trinidadians who came for Carnival, and if they're listening to this station, we would love to hear your comments on what you saw for the Carnival and also some of the foods that we are talking about. Tell us about it. We'd like to hear from you today.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Hello, morning.
How you
Good
going?
morning.
Yeah. I want to add a little thing more for you.
Talk your talk.
Right. I want to tell you that do you know, if I tell you that our flag is upside down.
Really?
Our flag is upside down. So Trinidad will always be in permanent distress. You go and check all the flags of the world, and you'll see, with the exception of 2 countries, right? One is an African country, I think, and Trinidad, that the diagonal on the flag is not moving from left, which is the bottom, to the top, which represents ascendancy, but that it is coming.
Kola, I want to interrupt you and say, don't you think that is apt?
What's that?
From the moment we lowered the Union Jack,
Yeah.
we've been in distress.
Yeah, no, well, I'm not telling. Well, the flag.
So do you agree that it is apt?
It's the flag.
Okay, I accept that, but I'm saying to you.
I want to tell you again, Philip, we have a coat of arms, and there are 2 birds on it. The scarlet ibis and the
coquelicot. Is it the coquelicot?
16 members of that committee that give a flag and all that kind of thing. Good. They did not know that the coquelicot is a pest in Tobago. So every year there is a gazette.
Oh God! Hey, you're killing me! You're killing me! The flag is a distress signal.
The farmers, okay, to shoot a national bird.
Oh my God!
You understand?
Yes.
Right?
Kola, you're wicked and bad. You're wicked and bad.
Yeah, we have that.
The national symbol is vermin.
The anthem that tell us here every creed and race find an equal place. The anthem, that was a national competition. And the woman, Numilta McShine, she had the best lyrics. But Pat Castani, who was Dr. Williams's buddy and friend, he got it. And that became our anthem. You listen to Mavis John when she sings, God bless our nation. Look at the lyrics. That is Umilta McShine. So we're in deep trouble.
Thank you, my friend.
I just want to add that.
I appreciate that greatly. My Facebook, Philip Edward Alexander, if you could do me a favor, send all that stuff to me. I'd appreciate it greatly.
This Clive Nunez, you know that?
Oh, Clive is you. But, we want you in the show, eh? So, call me after, 682-2110. I book a date for you to come in and talk now. Yeah?
All right.
Take care, my friend. 628-9595, 628-3131. Call in, have your say. Thank you for that, Clive.
Yeah,
so the national...
You made some very interesting points.
Janice, the national bird is vermin.
Oh my goodness.
We need to ask farmers in Tobago if that is true. Imagine if somebody tell us
Tobago being treated so bad.
the national bird is Kobo.
Hello, good morning.
What is caller?
Good morning to the panel.
How you going, man?
I want to say something about Trinidad and Tobago culture. Our culture is controlled by the King Vulture. But when I look at and see what's going on the TV for Carnival, what they give us for Carnival, and also for Calypso, all I can see is vultures.
Tata.
When I listen to the Calypsonian, when I listen to the youth, the junior Calypso monarch, and I listen to the senior monarch, the youth making more sense, more common sense than the elder ones.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Helen Francis last year and Voice. Those songs,
Yeah.
Banjela. If we could get our song to play.
That kind of music, that kind of music.
Kes come good. I last Kes in 2011, but look what Kes
But again,
evolved
it's
to.
about lyrical content.
But you evolve.
Yeah.
If you have to get in the thing, no, but call or continue.
Yeah, Philip. These juniors, these are the ones that's supposed to be the seniors.
Indeed.
They're supposed to be singing in the monarch.
Indeed.
Because they make more sense than the elders. The elders are misleading the youths, and the youths are them crying
I'm
out.
going
They're
and play.
They're crying out. The youths actually crying out
I'm
for the
going
elders to do the right thing and to teach them the right thing. But if you listen to the seniors, they only misleading us at that chopping lyrics, at that nonsense lyrics.
Yeah.
So Trinidad and Tobago, you need to take back your culture from the vultures. The vultures controlling your culture. Have a pleasant day, people.
Yeah, man.
No, but we have to bring it back here, Janice. We have to find a way to play that song today because I still want Trinidad and Tobago to explain to me how the hell that song didn't make it to the big yard.
Yeah, boy.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, Kola.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
How are you going, sir?
Mr. Alexander,
Good morning.
I want to make a comment, but I want to also ask a question. Up to now, I'm hearing you with when callers calling in and what have you. And when they're asking important questions, all you tell them, call you on this number. Let the public know the question that they're asking. Tell us, what is your plan? Let me tell you something, Mr. Alexander. You see, right now, with every party that wants to come in power, everybody wants to be leader. And what I'm saying here today, that is what every country so. Because nobody, you see this together. I am buying that. What I'm saying is you, as an individual, I hear you talk things that make real sense. And the plans that we have for Trinidad and Tobago is people like you all, we want to come on board. And let us say, you see, let me come together. It's a question that teach you people and let them know that what is taking place in the country is not right. The only person we have in this country, the one thing that is Dr. Rowley do is to bring in Captain Gary Griffin. And I'm telling you, it's the only way we are sitting and people condemn it. And you, I hear you talking things, and up to now I hear talk foreign policies. I hear talk nothing about it. It's only all you talking about is Kamala, Rowley, this one, the other one.
Nah, you can't say that, caller. If you're listening to me, you can't say that at all. That's wrong. I reject that.
I'm not listening.
What?
I'll listen to you. That's why I couldn't.
But I tell you, I told Trinidad and Tobago. You ask me what's my foreign policy. I tell him my foreign policy simple. Either recall the ambassadors or the high commissioners, or tell them that their mission is to sell Trinidad and Tobago to the world and to bring foreign direct investment here. That's our foreign policy.
But your foreign policy, I hear you talk up to now about when we in Dominica and we send people to represent and what have you. I hear you say that. I wouldn't hear you say that.
What are you talking about in Dominica? What you talking about in Dominica? I don't understand what you just asked me.
You see what I mean?
No, what you talking about?
Give them a blind and we send foreign people to do such a represent me. What they do? What they do? They said no. For how much money? All this kind of thing, and we talking about CARICOM and what else.
I want to ask you a question, caller. Where you calling from? What part of Trinidad you from?
I'm calling from Santa Flora, Lower Superior, between Santa Flora and Superior.
If I come to the South office, PEP office next week Saturday, you'll come and meet with us?
If I come in, I was there. When Rowley didn't come 2 times, I was there.
All right, okay. All right. But you're gonna cuss when I say this, but you had to take Tony number because we have to arrange for you to meet. Come and meet with us. We have in PEP office this Saturday. We'll be in San Fernando the following Saturday. No, the following Saturday is the launch of.
Come down Santa Flora. Come down here and see what.
Caller, wait, listen. We opening.
Hold on. You hold on. Because you just talk right through.
Uncle,
Let me tell you something.
do what you want, yeah? Talk it.
Let me tell you. When people talk on the phone, this Santa Flora area, you know what the Santa Flora area is all about? Down in Paliseco, South down here, it's the same set of people. That people have been bypassed and what have you. We just only bushfire. It's these people that make a little listen. Near here you talking about that. Near here you condemn government for talking about closing on petrol and closing on this closing.
Nah!
No.
You're a madman. You're a madman.
Yeah. Caller, you.
Don't cut him off. I am the person who put in the public space 8 months before it happened exactly how it happened. You telling me that, boy? Blame Heyman Fazir and Guardian Media Sapna News Network that you don't hear my voice more. Bless, caller, I talk you now. Bless Robert Amar that you could call in and talk to me this morning, because I am the one 8 months. When I share that again, Tony, exactly how Petrogen play. We had put that call, I reject that. Listen, this Saturday we meet in Stanmore Avenue. Next week Saturday we in 10th Avenue, Barataria. Uncle, are you mobile? Could you come to that meeting?
Yeah, come down the road now, man.
Let me tell you something.
Uncle, I just asked you a question. Are you mobile? Can you get a drop to Barataria?
No, I can't.
Well, then I have to come and meet you in South. Would you want to stick up in? Because you're making some accusations here that
Come down.
Come in.
We come in.
My number. Write my number down. 682-2110. That is my telephone number. You and I will meet and talk, my brother. Enjoy the rest of your day. 628-9595, 628-3131.
Morning, caller.
Gentlemen.
How you going, sir?
And Janice.
Mr. Alexander.
And Janice.
Hello.
Yes, say hello to Janice too. It's not just the gentleman in the studio.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. If Mr. Alexander, if that gentleman just called and listened to you, you wouldn't say, what is your plan?
I know.
He don't really listen.
I know.
Somebody tell him to say something. But let me continue from where you was talking about the chili BB and thing. You remember a long time, Sharak?
Sharak, yes.
Yeah, the skin. My mother.
White part of the grapefruit and the Sharak that they used to make.
They used to make comfort with it.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, of course I remember that.
Gosh,
and the green plum just is about to get 3/4 full. They take that and make comforting. It's to come out like where they have nut cake now. And it's to be selling that. But I figure out, I give you a whole 100% that they're going to destroy that Shack and Bake for some 1% to be opening something there.
I wouldn't
know. And they destroyed it for that. And as they say, if we go around now movie town, you don't get nothing local.
Boy, vote PEP into office. I want to tell you something.
Yes,
it is time for a tax on foreign franchises that causing heart attack. Trinidadians have the highest rate of heart attack. You know, black Trinidadian males have the highest in the Western world.
Look at that.
But you know, Philip, we as the consumers, we could change that, you know.
Of course.
We could change that. All we have to do is to buy the thing on the shelf, you know.
It's up to us. It's up to us.
Have a nice day, gentlemen.
Yes, man. You too.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, morning, caller.
Blessed morning.
Morning. How are you going?
Yeah, here. Philip, I really enjoy you this morning when you started this program. Everything was positive. Everything is said makes sense, brother. You know, this country in our real state is really, really negative.
Nastiness. Is nastiness going on.
This carnival is not going to solve it, quite, you know. Because, you see, all of us, all the religion who used to be following this country, I'm a Hindu, they call me Hindu, but we are Sanatanists. Have straight from God, brother. We just preach something and we just practice something different. And that's the whole problem in this country. No love for God. And the only time this country is successful and things will run how it's supposed to run. All over the world is happening, It's when we go back to the Father in whatever way we are accustomed worshiping, or worship it love. Thank you, brother.
Yeah. Janice, let me play this song.
Have a good day.
Janice, let me play this song. On the heels of what he just said, let me find a way to play this song. You and me. I'm going to cue it up here, and let me see. I know the caller's calling, Let me see if I could get it. Let me see if I can get this song in.
Is this one?
Janice, you go chop your head.
No, boy, she just...
You'll get chopped.
Chief whipping.
That's how no, but that's you ever hear that? They say chop, not chop. Don't forget to pull that down,
Yes.
You getting it?
No salary, but cost of living gets higher. We inhumane behavior.
daughters and sons through the perilous times. I know with you on board, blessings will flow. TNT will again arise to the sweet, sweet paradise. Bring it back, sweet TNT. Bring it back, of the milk and honey. Bring it back, sweet family. The way that it used to be, Lord. Like long ago, what was mine was yours too. Bring it back, peace and harmony. My red, white, and black country. Bring it back, I say. Bring it back, I say. Bring it back, I say. Bring it back. When it take a village to grow a child, and all we do was smile. Bring the country back, I say. Bring it back. When we eat from the same pot, bring it back. We drink from the same cup. Bring it back. Bring it back. Bring it back. My red, white, and black country. Bring it back. When we look out for each other, bring it back. We were all brothers keepers. Bring it back. My red, white, and black country. Bring it back. Sweet family. Bring it back. My red, white, and black country.
Trinity Lighting Etc. Limited, the only place for parts and accessories. Located 123 Western Main Road, St. James. Trinity has the widest range of light bulbs, replacement parts for chandeliers, ceiling fans, and other lighting fixtures. They do special orders for hard-to-find light bulbs and have month-end specials. So don't go looking around. Call now 628-8373. 622-6935. Email trinityetc@yahoo.com. Website www.trinityetc.com. Like us on Facebook. Also our new Miami address, Metro Shopping Center, 2033 Northeast 163rd Street, North Miami Beach, Florida, 33162. Ease your stress away. Trinity One-Stop Shop.
We care for your eyes. That's why Value Optical recommends world-leading transitions lenses that protect your eyes from blue light and 100% of UV rays. They automatically adapt to changing light conditions, making life simpler and more comfortable for your eyes every day. Now available in 4 new style colors for you to personalize any frame and express your style. Value Optical, caring for your eyes.
Santana boy, you can pick me up?
Yeah, where you?
By Racetrack Wheels. Boy, I went inside and I lose my mind. It's the best in brand name rims and high performance tires for so. They have specials, so I make my name. Ha ha ha!
Panarine, you don't have a car?
Patsy gon' kill me.
So hurry on down and catch these great specials at Racetrack Wheels. 3 locations: number 330 Eastern Main Road, Aruca, number 64 Southern Main Road, Chase Village, and number 82 Bethany Road, Tobago.
Disclaimer. More FM Limited, its owners and associates, accepts no responsibility for statements made by the talk show hosts or their guests. More FM Limited does not endorse any of the information provided during this commercially booked segment as the truth. That you have to judge for yourself. We, however, reserve the right to question statements made. But in this time of misinformation, government-controlled media, and corruption, it is sometimes hard to get the truth. But we must try. It is not our intention to discriminate or annoy anyone. We believe it is our constitutional right to free speech, to voice our opinion, and our duty to the population and country to expose the truth. More FM Limited takes no responsibility for the opinions of others.
Well, listen, the song.
Bring it back.
Bring it back, boy.
Yeah,
that is lyrical contents with days, boy. And it's just such a shame that is not even on roster throughout all the stations in the country and just getting proper airplay, man. Oh my goodness. But I mean, it's Trinidad, right? Do what the hell you want, land. But we can't go down this road again like this, you know. We cannot. We have to have a proper level of evolution where our entertainment, where our nation, where everything across the board is concerned, boy. Where everything across the board is concerned. And that's just the bottom line. It's just the bottom line. You can't support PNM or UNC. They've been there, done that. We've done it umpteen times over, Trinidad and Tobago. We need to try to get in touch with something new. And here what the Progressive Empowerment Party is that. Come down and be a part. Come down and learn more. Understand the policies. Know how the mechanism works, how the wheels turn. All right, this is what we're talking about. Information is what would allow us to make better decisions, Trinidad and Tobago. And at the end of the day, you know what? We've been jaded. I've voted PNM at one point in my life. I've voted UNC one point in my life. And my point is, right now, is that I have sought interest in the Progressive Empowerment Party. I came down to the office and learned more about the policies and the mechanisms and how this thing actually works and if it is actually possible or feasible in my own mind, in layman terms, to know whether these policies can work. And let me tell you, I'm here 2 years now, and I think that in itself speaks for itself. And again, Trinidad and Tobago, it's regular people, you know, just like you, just like I, that just want better.
This is the last one I'm going to read today, because I want to show that we've been having this conversation for a long time, for almost a decade, right? So this one is called Losing the Battle of the Beads.
And this year is what?
This 2019.
2019.
This one is 2013. Losing the Battle of the Beads. Where Carnival gone? Former British Prime Minister Benjamin Disraeli famously said there are three types of lies. Lies, damn lies, and statistics.
I like that. I'll go borrow that.
Just cue it. I'll
go borrow that. I like that too, man. Start over.
Losing the Battle of the Beads. Where Carnival gone? This is 2013 now. We have to keep reminding people that this, even though it sounds like we're talking this today.
This is years ago.
Former British Prime Minister Benjamin Disraeli famously said there are three types of lies. Lies, damn lies, and statistics. Easily the most brazen lie ever told to the people of this country, stripped down and devoid of any statistics that support it, is that our carnival is the greatest show on earth. Far from being unique, first, biggest, most watched, or any of the other superlative adjectives that have been attached to the untruth over the years, the cold reality is that our carnival is dying, slowly, collapsing on itself in a writhing orgy of drunken stupor, while others around the world and in our hemisphere, contradicting our tourism ministers, have been experiencing exponential and explosive growths in visitor arrivals and tourism dollars. As examples, compared to our 30 to 40,000 visitors, Rio de Janeiro enjoys an average of 1.1 million visitors for Carnival alone, who, according to global management consulting firm Benares Consulting, spend a mind-boggling $740 million into their economy over the Carnival week alone. And if you think those are amazing numbers, check out New Orleans, who in 2011 welcomed 9 million visitors who spent over a 2-week period a whopping $5.5 billion or 35 billion TT dollars. That's half our annual budget.
Boy,
in 2 weeks.
Yeah. You hear that? Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Approximately 60% of our entire estimated revenue collection for all of 2013, according to the government of Trinidad and Tobago. This was written in 2013. Now, obviously, the question on everyone's minds has to be, if all that is said here is true, why aren't we doing anything about it? The short answer is, I don't know. Cultural activists, mass men, and patriotic others have been ringing the alarm bells and publicly lamenting the death of Carnival for years to no avail, simply because we have never elected to office men and women of sufficient vision to understand both the qualitative and quantitative value of our culture. Think those arrivals and revenue statements are startling? What about the impact on the society of cohesion and community, the unifying, crime-defeating value of the culture itself? Oxford Dictionary defines culture as the arts and other manifestations of human intellectual achievement regarded collectively. In other words, the living memory and combined expression of a people committed posterity to as art. Now, how does that fit in with the mind-numbing imported from China vapor that our carnival has become? Not wanting to rant the same rant every time, but clearly our inability to lead from in front has left the weight of profiteering dollars suffocating the very goose, even as it tries to wrench one more golden egg from its dying carcass. Where's the vision? The background music of our culture, calypso, has been literally thrown aside to make way for its dying offshoot, soca. And what soca itself has become is so devoid of substance, were it not for the 3 or 4 flag bearers, Machel Destra, Iowa Kess, and a handful of imitators that sing practically the same 4 lines in a hook every year, it would not survive the decade as is. I have compared what our carnival has become in the past to a wedding reception without the wedding, a celebration of nothing, where everyone shows up for the drinks and the dancing. Surely there is something more of us, something rooted deep within our Caribbean belly that wants to cry against this, isn't there? Abraham Lincoln asked, is leadership telling people what they want to hear or taking them where they need to be? For our purposes, the answer to that may lie in the dwindling spectators along the mass route, the empty stands and the tuned out audience. When it finally dawns on those busily gyrating their wares for all to see that no one is watching anymore, the absurdity of what our carnival has become might dawn on us all. If we're lucky, when that day comes, there might still be something left worth saving. But until then, put your 2 hands in the air, put your foot up in the air, whine like you just don't care, and ha na 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 na.
Guys, on that note, we gotta go pay some bills again, and we will be taking the calls from our listeners.
Let's get more options from Royal Castle with their 3 tasty meal specials. Meals made with the freshest fish, seasoned with the castle's appetizing Trini ingredients and cooked to golden perfection. Choose from the fish combo, 2 succulent pieces of fish, 1 side and a 16-ounce soft drink, or the fish sandwich combo of a tender, tasty sandwich, 1 side and a 16-ounce soft drink, or even a flavorful veggie combo option of a sandwich, a side and a 16-ounce soft drink. Get more options from Royal Castle. Our culture, our taste. For Lent.
Campari. The journey. The anticipation. The connection. It all comes together in one moment of perfection. And when it's over, we can't wait to do it again. Campari. Come together. Must be 18 years or older. Drink responsibly.
We are back here, everybody. We are looking for your phone calls, please.
628-9595, 628-3131. Come on, talk your talk.
That's right. And while you're getting to your phones, I just want to put in a plug here for our pep talk. We invite the business community to advertise on this show, which is growing into the #1 show in Trinidad and Tobago. Call 796-8172 and speak to Satish. That number again, 796-8172. Our rates are very competitive. Don't miss out on this great opportunity. We also have some another event coming up soon, later this month, and that will be the PEP Family Day, which we will be talking more about next week, Monday, when we come.
Yeah, that one. Morning, caller.
Hey, morning, Anthony. Morning, Mr. Philip and the ladies.
Thank you. Good morning.
Sandy Grandy. Good morning.
Sandy Grandy, how are you doing?
I've been listening to you this morning, and I heard what you say. I hear everything, understanding everything you're saying. When you talked about the cruise ships, having about 20 cruise ships out in the port there, Philip, Trinidad used to be like that years ago. Time this carnival come up, it to be happening. But Philip, the administration, they don't want that to happen. It's about them. Anytime you see this is the head of culture and he wants to participate in the competition, lo and behold, our country going. We want to have everything You understand? Nothing can go good. Listen, all system has to change if Trinidad and Tobago have to
Thank you for that call. Thank you for that, Randy. You know we like to talk with you plenty when you call, but the switchboard is a mess. So we gotta give everybody a chance, right? But I hope we're meeting with you on the 23rd. I tell you, we opening in Barataria, 5 p.m. opposite Maritime Plaza. You'll see all the orange. Come down and join us now. I want to talk to you in person, okay? Hello, good morning. 628-9595-628-3131.
Morning, Gola. How you doing today?
I'm good. Trinidad and Tobago problem is not really crime, Mr. Alexander. Crime is a result of Trinidad and Tobago problem.
Absolutely.
Trinidad and Tobago problem is really corruption.
Absolutely.
And Mr. Gary Griffith, yes, I mean, somebody has to fight the crime.
Somebody have to lock up and lock down, but we can't pretend that this is fruit of our tree and don't deal with the tree.
But exactly because the crime is not
going
the
nowhere.
problem. Corruption, we need to stop the corruption. Somebody need to fight the corruption.
100 Gary Griffith ain't gonna fix it without stopping the problem. Gary doing his part. But you can't walk with Stuart Young in town knowing that Stuart Young is part of a corrupt government.
That is the problem, and the people are not seeing that. They feel
No, the people see it. They're loving up Gary and ignoring that stunting jackass. They're loving up Gary. Gary doing the work. But that clown Stuart Young that walk around town trying to look like he in the army now. Hey boy, I laugh.
So Trinidad need to wake up. If we need to fix our problem, we need to fix it from the head. The young youth and them, they're just the result of the problem. The problem is really corruption, people. Not really crime. Crime is just a result of the problem.
Go to the head of the class, break down the blackboard, go outside in the yard, you win.
Yeah.
You win.
Have a nice one, man.
Have a good day, my friend. I hope all you call him come in Barataria on the 23rd.
Hello, good morning.
How you going, man?
I cool, man. Tony is Valencia.
Hey, what going on?
I cool, man. How can this country talk tourism when we have a big day like Sunday in Las Cuevas when the facilities are closed, all the toilets, everything are closed. You understand? And you're having tourists on the beach, nowhere to go off, nothing at all.
We don't even have much tourists, to tell you the truth.
and what about the fort up in Las Cuevas that we taking care of? You understand? I went up there Sunday, and there's a bunch of I would say tourists, taking pictures and stuff, but it's in a mess. We've not seen after it. So all this attraction that we claim to have.
I want to tell you, Valencia, I want to tell you, the toilet don't matter if the government full up. Anyway.
You understand? We can't be talking tourism at all when we're not seeing about we own stuff in the country.
But where was your tourism minister? It's contempt for the people. 628-9595-628-3131.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen.
How are you going,
good morning.
The tourism minister was seen in a Juve van in San Fernando, jumping up and wailing. But today, Mr. Philip, today is Wednesday, 7 days since the Calypso Monarch finals. Do you remember a line in the Calypso? Do you remember a word, the name of the Calypso that the Monarch sang?
I didn't watch the show. I tried, but I had to sit through.
Anybody remember the name of the Calypso?
I had to sit through the mind-numbing decadence of the foolish. What used to be an extempo competition used to be something that you used to want to watch. That was nonsense.
That's right. Absolute nonsense.
Caller, you remember the name of a song? 628-9595-628-3131.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, morning, Gola.
Good morning, gentlemen.
How are you going,
lady.
sir?
Good
morning.
Philip, if corruption and crime is the order of the day in Trinidad and Tobago, do you expect them to catch a big fish in an aquarium? Huh?
You want me to answer?
Well, let me tell you something. Unless Gary Griffith and the police don't make arrests, lock up somebody, we see somebody facing the court, convicted and jailed, then I have absolutely no confidence in the justice system in this country. The reason I'm saying this, Philip, we had so much reports of insider trading, corruption at the highest level and all this kind of thing. And no one, what happened to all these matters just pending in the court? How come none of these matters with big drug busts and all these things? Why aren't these things brought to the forefront and these matters be expedited and people, let me see you're doing something. Make in jail. Don't hide behind Gary Griffith, because if Gary Griffith fails, the PNM is going to blame Gary Griffith.
This is their salvation,
Absolutely.
Philip.
All of them riding Gary coattails. Think I don't know that?
Now, let me say one thing again. Keith Rowley is a notorious liar to this country.
Two tongue in that man's mouth.
Huh?
You have two tongue.
Let me tell you something, Philip. Were we aware of there was a meeting with Keith Rowley or the CARICOM leaders and the Secretary of State? Was there ever a date, a place, a time?
No, it was all a stunt. You know it was a stunt.
This was a lie.
It was a stunt for the copy and paste media to sell bullshit.
Yes, because people...
Okay, but you know that now. You taking any of them on?
You're looking for public sympathy because, let me make my point, Philip, is that there was no meeting carded and the American Secretary of State said, hey, Oliver was going there hoping to lobby for a meeting. And he said, Oliver, we have no damn meeting, we don't want to hear Oliver.
Not a damn thing, they don't want to hear them.
Not only that, Philip, the same country that you chastise because you have your, you have your rights, your, how you call it, sovereignty. We have the sovereignty rights and whatnot. It's the same damn people who you criticize and condemn that you're saying and you're lying, you're going to their country for a medical checkup, Philip.
Kola, I want to say this to you. If your Prime Minister could announce that he is going foreign for a heart checkup, it is an indictment against public health in Trinidad and Tobago. And as he is ultimately responsible for public health, he should have been fired immediately.
Because this is not to say that you're going for surgery or any major...
You're going for a checkup.
You're going for a checkup,
You're going for a checkup.
And
Prime Minister Keith Rowley said not one good doctor in Trinidad and Tobago, yes?
And Philip, hello?
Listen to you. Yeah,
go ahead.
Right? Yeah, and not the thing is, the doctor who ordered him to go and get his checkup, we don't know the name of the doctor. We don't know the institution that he's checking into and what. All this is lies so that you would not...
Lies. The man is a liar.
A notorious
He's
liar.
a notorious liar. Have two tongue in his head.
I never understand that if you... Why is it then when you say you get blank with the meeting, it's only there and then you come out and say that...
you have plaque in your heart.
You have plaque in your heart.
You have plaque all in your brain. Give me with
God,
that.
boy, let me tell you something. I have no sympathy for
Not
people.
one. Not one.
Regardless of the outcome, whether he live, he dead, or whatever, this is my position. Because here, why? You can't be lying for a country. And then when you had children who wanted medical treatment out of the children life on,
Stink and dirty. Stink and dirty. Listen now. Listen now. Satan waiting for them, boy, with a pitchfork. I telling you, them can't see God face.
Well, boy, Philip, I would want to say this. Whom we meet them. Whom will refuse to eat them, these people.
Hey, boy.
You know, whom eat you when
you want to eat you right, cockroach passing them straight.
You know,
Have
they
a
say
good
whom to eat you when you're dead?
Caller,
well,
listen, man.
yes, brother.
I set a latrine, lizard and canal conks for
God, boy,
government.
Philip, boy, let me tell you something. If these PNM supporters could sit down and take...
No, they're not the PNM supporters waiting to fire him.
No,
it's them he going to fool with plaque in his heart.
Philip, look at this issue with the Chief Justice thing. We always want to chastise those people for going on the whole of justice and talking about the justice system. Where is Peter Jamada? Where is the other people, the legal mind? When Sat Sharma was hungered out by the government, why didn't you all come out and make a statement and say...
We talking about that in a little while. I think by Monday. We're sticking an opinion that. But you touch on some very good points, caller. Thanks a lot for calling in. 628-9595, 628-3131.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, caller.
Philip, again, I had to call back, boy. When you play that song, you make me cry, boy. Tears flowing in your eyes.
That telling you, boy, there's a song to cry for.
No, what I mean, it touches exactly what we saying and what we happening in the world. And I was happy when I play that song. And let me tell you just one biblical thing. You understand? They say the scripture said, what was hid from the wise and prudent shall be revealed to the babes and sucklings. Even Sanatana Dharma say the same thing. They say the first 5 years of a child, they have the Gurukul system where the master or the guru, the saint will be teaching the children the ways of God. And the children are the future. The children are the future, brother. But we are poisoning the mind. Philip, I feel you are offspring of that past era. I believe that that's in my heart. Don't disappoint them, please, I'm begging you.
Not a chance of that, caller.
Don't disappoint them,
Have a blessed day. And watch me. You give me goosebumps. I feel like you're blessed and you anoint me today. And I take it. I take it.
No, serious, you know,
I take the anointing. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. I will walk into any church, any temple, any mosque. I go in where God is, you know. This is God work we doing here this morning.
Top of the pavement already in protest, you know me.
All right, my friend. Take it.
Yeah,
Have a
man.
good day. Janice, before let me get one more song now, Janice. Let me get one more song inside now. You can do that for me?
Yeah.
I ready if you ready.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Is that you? Can't believe that is you. So long I see you. Give me a wine up. Give me a wine up. Give me the wine that I want. Long time, long time. So long I see you. Give me a wine up. Give me a wine up. And I will make up for all this time. Make up for all this time. Hey, look who. You know how long we already see you. It could have been about a year or two. All to drink now, what we go do? Hey, long time. Been a while we have us a line. Nothing ain't changed, 'cause you still look fine. Look how you looking fine. I thought you hiding. I thought you went foreign. Look how things happen now. Look how things happen now. So let me hug up and squeeze you. I don't even want to leave you. I don't know when we'll bounce up again. So let me take a little thing until then. So long I see you. Give me a wine up. Give me a wine up. Give me the wine that I want. Long time, long time. So long I see you. Give me a wine up. Give me a wine up. And I will make up for all this time. Make up for all this time. It was just last week when I called your name. I did ask your friend and them. When last did they talk to you? So long I ain't talked to you. Go funny, you're in my sight. Didn't know you was here tonight. It looked like you're doing alright, like money running real nice. I thought you hiding. I thought you went foreign. Look how things happen now. Look how things happen now. So let me hug up and squeeze you. I don't even want to leave you. I don't know when we'll bounce up again. So let me take a little thing until then. So long I see you. Give me a wine up. Give me a wine up. Give me the wine that I want. Long time, long time. So long I see you. Give me a wine up. Give me a wine up. And I will make up for all this time. Make up for all this time. I got to see you, my friend, from long time. Let we just take a wine. I wanna hold on together and rock away the whole night. And I'm glad to see you, my friend, from long ago. Don't even want to go. I wanna hold on together and rock away the whole night. So long I see you. Give me a wine up. Give me a wine up. Give me the wine that I want. Long time, long time. So long I see you. Give me a wine up. Give me a wine up. And I will make up for all this time. Make up for all this time, Lord.
Tuesday morning. Yes, man.
Look now, man.
Yes, track.
Them two songs, eh?
Yeah.
Nadia Batson song.
Yeah.
When the first time I listened to that song, I said, Jesus Christ, this girl write a song here, boy. She write that song like it's a conversation between two people who see each other for a long time. I mean, the more you listen to that song, the innate chinniness, how Bangela, Nadia, and Kes, anyway. And I'll call and ask if you remember. Yeah, take your calls. I'll call and ask if you remember the names.
Hello, morning.
Turn down your phone, please.
Morning, caller.
Yeah, morning.
Turn on
the radio.
Turn on your radio.
Too close to the radio.
The Prime Minister going for a medical checkup overseas. Tell me something. What about the Caribbean heart care system we have been trained at, which is doing very good? That's what I want to know. What about the Caribbean heart care?
Thank you, caller.
Gentlemen and lady, have a good day.
Thank you,
Thanks,
caller.
man.
Have a great day.
Thanks.
628-9595, 628-3131.
Morning, caller. Morning.
Morning, Philip and your colleagues and him.
How you going?
Good morning.
Mr. Peters was on television and he was advocating for they to have a ministry of carnival. Now, I like to hear his take on it because I'm a bit baffled because I know he was once the Minister of Culture under the UNC administration. So a bit strange listening to him. But my second thing I want to talk about, I played Mass and I was a bit disappointed with the way the city was left with the volume of garbage. This morning on my way to drop my wife to work, passing by the Venezuelan embassy, gentlemen, if you all see wrong by Stanmore Avenue, it's garbage all over. It's a total.
You know, you're talking about in the vicinity of Balise house.
Like it's only certain parts of Port of Spain has been given the priority to get clean. All the other parts, they just left it like that. I really don't know what the issue, but I would like to take on Mr. Peters' Ministry of Carnival.
No, yeah, make me laugh. I ain't gonna lie. I wanted, you put me in a nice mood because I can't remember when I laugh like that. The man want a Ministry of Carnival, you say, you know.
Boy, madness.
Thank you, caller. 628-9595, 628-3131. Why not a Ministry of Silly Walk?
Morning, caller. Morning.
Morning.
How you going, man?
The only checkup the PM needed from his neck up on him. I hope his heart above his neck.
Caller, today's Ash Wednesday. I hope you went for your ashes. You're calling to talk that talk. 628-9595,
yes, man. Have a good day.
All your scandalous with all your Trini self. You're calling and scandalizing the poor Prime Minister and the handicapped.
Morning, caller. Morning.
Hello, gentlemen,
How you
ladies,
good?
and everybody around the world.
How you good?
I want you to listen to what I'm saying. I sympathize you're already going for holiday, not holidays, medication. But the point I'm making, every Prime Minister in the PNM got at 69, I gone.
Hey, you know, that's true, you know. That's true, all the PNM
listen, there was a man who does read tarot cards for a living. CNC Gamer Show. He did be calling my name.
Don't tell me.
No. I hope he reading the cards right.
Good morning, caller.
I hope he reading the cards right.
Yeah.
Because I know he gets some Wasa contracts from Ganga Singh. And I hope he know that his association with friends and family of mine ain't gonna free him if we see office. 628-9595, 628-3131. Make sure when you're reading your cards, partner, read properly, eh?
Yes.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, morning again.
Morning.
Just want to endorse what the last caller said about the Caribbean heart care. I was a recipient of heart surgery there, and it's one of the best medical care you get, Caribbean heart care. So I don't know what the Prime Minister going across there for. He's just showing that the condition of this country, in the healthcare system in this country, because the Caribbean heart care is a private organization, but using the hospitals to do this free surgery for the citizens of the country. Thank you.
Nice one.
But you know, I have to also talk about my situation with plaque in my heart. I have 3 clogged arteries in my heart.
Really?
Yes. And I got excellent care here at West Shore under Dr. Henry.
Right.
So I don't understand why one would have to go all the way to California.
Questions.
Check up.
Some kind of question marks always have to pop up. Again, we always talking about accountability and transparency. And if we did have a country that was working and we are getting a level of good health care, but at the end of the day, it still could also be a whole lot better. Morning, caller. Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. You know, Philip and your colleagues again. While I have no problem with an individual who have the finances to seek medical assistance outside of Trinidad and Tobago, I take real umbrage in the Prime Minister doing it with taxpayers' money. We just had a Queen Hospital here.
Right.
Sit down on benches that are very uncomfortable. Understand? You'll be treated rudely by security guards. The personal staff, sometimes when they come at their own issues, they take it out on you who come to the medical institution, and it's really hard. And when you see these things happen, you want to know what is really going on. I mean, with all the money this country have, why it is that our people can't stay here and have state-of-the-art medical things done to see about their children here. Understand? Like I say, I have no issue if you have the money and you choose to go outside, but with taxpayers' money.
I wanna say something to your caller. But you see how you say it, you want to hear it online or you listening?
Well, I'll listen to you.
Thank you, caller.
The problem I have is, even if you have the money to pay for it outside,
if it working,
but use the Prime Minister of this country, it should be law that you have to use public health. And I'll tell you why. You cannot be dictating to me that you taxing me and my family to provide that madness that you know is madness and you ain't going. The fastest way to fix Trinidad traffic, outlaw blue lights.
Yeah, definitely.
Outlaw blue lights. Sit the Prime Minister down in traffic.
See how fast it fix.
Gary could secure him
See how fast
from
it
all
fix.
around him, above and below, but sit your ass in traffic. Prime Minister, President, Chief Justice, everybody sit in that traffic. I tell you why. It is all your work to fix it.
That's right.
And if you can't fix it, suffer through it. If you can't fix public health, go and lie down on the gurney in the hallway in San Fernando Hospital like the rest of the people and wait.
Yes.
Let the big nurse behind the counter say, hey, there are people here before you who are in worse condition than you. Hush and wait. You have a number? Hold your number. Let the Prime Minister Churan, let Sharon Rowley deal with that. And Kamala husband, you see, they just want to talk a crocus bag of ass for their followers. But it's time for Trinidadians to wake up. Stop electing royalty. Don't drag nobody from Mason Hall and Separi and make them king and queen. Your work is public servant. You can't fix it. Fire
yourself. Fire yourself.
So long I want to hear somebody say that. Stop electing royalty.
Yeah, boy.
Sit down in the traffic just like
sit down in the traffic.
Right. That's right.
You understand?
Yeah.
That is when they go fix the problem.
Fix the traffic.
Correct.
Or sit in it.
Yeah.
628-9595, 628-3131. We taking your calls. Call and talk your talk.
Morning, caller.
Morning.
How you good?
There's a very distinct female voice here. Is that the same person who used to be on the Union and the Roberts and
Not at all. Not at all. This is the PRO of the Progressive Empowerment Party, Janice Lemon Quickie. She has a very sexy voice, we've been told.
She's chief whip as well.
She's the chief whip of the
Be
PE.
careful, eh?
She overshadowing us a little bit. You like her voice?
Is that you, ma'am?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
God. Hey, there's
great to hear your voice again. So where did your dance psychic go wrong?
Caller, you didn't hear me say that you're mixing up with somebody else. Cut him off now. Right? Somebody called to talk stupid talk. Janice Lemon Creaky have no association with Anil Roberts. Don't do the girl.
No, I don't have any association with Anil.
Morning, caller.
Yes, me again.
Yes.
You have a secret. You have a secret again. True to this station, boy.
He always calls at the right time.
Is you and your program and what have you, it's very informative, like I'm saying. But I'm asking question: is that why don't you all ask Captain Gary Griffith, Commissioner?
Careful.
Is that his name call in to murder journalists?
Caller.
Yeah.
Listen to me carefully when I say this to you.
Yeah.
On this show, every pot to stand up on its own bottom. If you make any allegations or accusations, I am saying to you clear, so you hear me clear. The responsibility for any of those statements will be yours. I am cautioning you. Okay?
Email gate. are talking about email gate. You hear me?
The Prime Minister is the one who spoke about email
Yes,
gate.
but we could ask these questions, and why not ask it like the public?
I asking those questions. That's my job. That's your job. And we need to do that. Thank you. 628-9595, 628-3131. You could call in and have your say.
Morning, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How you good?
Gentlemen, Philip, there's something, when you go on YouTube and click on something for me, there's something called Jones Plantation. Okay? And when you go to Jones Plantation, click on the part on Jones Plantation, and you'll just ask, there's a 15 minutes.
Colin, let's speak up a little bit. We're not hearing you clear. Could you speak up a little bit?
Because the reason I want you to listen, we was in a meeting 2 Mondays ago with the Minister of Agriculture. I didn't say anything because if I said anything, I would end up following in that Jones Plantation, like a man called Samuels. I didn't want to end up like Samuels. I didn't say anything. When I went, he was having the discussion. I felt like was on Jones Plantation with Mr. Smith speaking to us, like how it was. But if you hear the clip, then you will understand.
Could you send it to me?
Jones Plantation.
Could you send it to me, caller? Could you send the clip to me?
Oh no, it's on YouTube. You can get
Okay, but I don't know what it is you're trying to say, but you're leaving all of us behind. You gotta get to your point.
You can leave the point I'm making to you. If you go on the
I will go and look at Jones Plantation.
Jones Plantation. You click on it, you will see exactly what I'm saying. That is how this government have the people in this country today. We are all on Jones Plantation.
Okay, I understand where you're trying to go. Thanks a lot for that. We will look at Jones Plantation and get back to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, because I like being guided.
Morning, caller.
Morning.
Hello, good morning.
Caller, you hearing us?
You need to turn on your radio, please.
And listen to us on the phone.
Thank you.
Hello.
You hearing us, caller? I don't know what he's doing with his...
Hello?
Yeah, hello, good morning, God.
Morning. How you good?
Hey, I was trying to get onto the service. I'm taking a while.
Because they have one fella, he know how to call and get through. He have a shortcut, he blocking all on.
Well, go ahead.
Alright, let's start. The one time I reviewed this, a while I try to get on here. You have to get some ideas that I have to get to you immediately, because this is a game changer for Trinidad.
Where you located?
I'm located in the Carnage area.
All right, well, we meeting this Saturday in 19 Stanmore Avenue. You can come and meet with us there. The team will be there. You can come and talk with us, and we'll be very happy to meet with you. You okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. It's my time to present a portfolio, put everything together, say to see, and I will explain everything.
How long you need?
Until Saturday.
All right, take your time. You have my number, 682-2110. You have Tony number, 688-4012.
Okay.
What? You know that number?
All right, so call us when you're ready. Okay?
Okay, caller.
All right, man. Morning.
Yeah, good morning.
How you going, caller?
Morning, lady and gentlemen. Yeah, I'm calling about the issue on the stadium musical instrument. It was patented in 1963 in the international patent, where it was trademark, trade name, and copyright, because copyright is automatic. Everything is in the copyright jurisdiction. And again, it was copyrighted again in the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C., 1999. A suggestion by the President of the United States today, Donald Trump, who owned shares in the technology. And again, in 2003. So nobody could claim it and say it's their own. And right now, we're working on getting royalties from them that supposed to come to the country.
All right, thanks a lot for that, caller.
All right,
Looking forward to that information.
Yeah.
Hello, good morning.
628-9595.
Morning, caller.
Good morning.
How are you going there?
I want to comment on Carnival. The behavior of those women were outrageous. They need to carry about themselves better with, and I don't know how the government allows songs for people to wear songs, all the bottom in the road in front of the camera. I want to know who let the dogs out.
They selling that. That's what the government selling.
Yeah.
That's what the government selling. Bumsy mass. Bumsy mass is what we sell. We selling bumsy mass, Tony.
Yeah, it's so true.
Beads, feathers, and bumsy.
So true. The art form is lost. You know, the whole, just the whole experience.
And people, little girl children growing up thinking that's an expression of a
Yeah,
woman.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, Gola. Hello.
No, just take the volume off. Whatever volume is.
Hello.
Take the volume off.
No,
Hello.
He having a problem.
All right.
Trinidad and Tobago. The reality of our situation cannot be changed unless we change it.
Correct.
From the very top, our leadership, intellectually bankrupt, vacuous and inane. They bring nothing to the national conversation. We have no plans, no policies, no ideas from the PNM and the UNC that could lead anybody to think that they have a vision for this country.
Yeah.
Where is the vision, Janice, for education? Where's the vision for public health? Where's the vision for jobs? Where's the vision for home ownership? Where is the development of the people, the social fabric? Where is that? The cohesion. We live in a nation beaten down by poverty and crime. Where's the poverty conversation? Where's the crime symposium? Again, Gary is very good at his job. But if you don't stop producing criminals, as Helen Francis said, we will end up with a bandit factory. If you don't stop producing criminals, if the education system doesn't fail 5,000 to 7,000 children out into nothingness every year, they have only so much lockup and lockdown you could do.
True.
We will end up with an industrial jail complex in this country, jailing people because we did not give them choice, hope, or opportunity.
But that is also big business. Is why we're not doing anything.
I think the soca mafia, thief, yes. I think that's a thief. Savannah Grass, Wayne Road, man.
Yeah.
I think that's a
everywhere.
thief.
It played everywhere, every
And
part of the road.
I sick and tired of watching banditry in every place, including the banditry of the FEP culture, owned and operated by promoters, excluding other performers. The culture is being strangled by money.
Yes.
Trinidadians have to stop being fools. If you're going to give your support to culture, especially if you're giving your support to culture as charity, when you're supporting QRC, Fatima St. Mary's and the other schools, demand better. Demand that we see a greater cross-section. Marshall Montano done record 2021 song already, you know. Them have a factory of this music that them putting out.
Yeah.
And if you brainwash people enough, you could hit them. They say a lie told often enough becomes the truth. You know?
Yeah, correct.
If from the first fete you get for Carnival, you see in Marshall, wherever he's saying, and but if every fete you go to, you hear that song, you're getting it every single day for 2 weeks, you would think that is the song.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's true.
It doesn't grow on you.
But Savannah Grass, push way. It's like when Sherwin Winchester had sing Dead or Alive. That was a behemoth of a song. It pushed you down.
Yeah.
It pushed them down to the point where Marshall wanted to fight with Sherwin in the Gene Peck complex behind the stadium. Everything in our culture now
That's true.
has become bullshit.
Yeah.
I want Marshall war. Bullshit.
Yeah, well, that's a publicity. It's a publicity. Yes,
Marshall
it's a
singing
stunt.
people holy tune.
Yeah.
All of this is to distract, deflect, and rob the culture and leave the people this morning after the glitter fade holding an empty bag. All of them who wanted to make their piece of the pie, gone with the money.
Yeah.
And the culture that was supposed to offer cohesion to the community, that gone. Nothing. Vapor. Vapor. Like a balloon. One prick and it gone. 628-9595, 628-3131.
Morning, caller.
Morning, folks.
How you going, sir?
A very nice topic, very informative and very educational.
Thank you.
You know, it is very sad to see and hear what is happening. Knowledge is power only when applied. And information without experience is of no use. With reference to the Prime Minister and his cardiac problem, of which he went to California, and then you have our Minister of Health
rating our health system in this country as the second to none in the world. I am a cardiac patient for 34 years, 7 bypasses, 2 open heart surgery. So the crap we are hearing every day from the Minister of Health and the entire administration is crap beyond recognition.
Yeah, but just now, caller.
Administration and definition.
Just now. Your heart has been visited
rather often.
What was your diet? Did you drink bacon juice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
This is coming from the heart, you see, because when I'm going to San Fernando, I take the main road. I cannot take another bypass. I
like that. I like that.
But you, sir, are a survivor. I tell you what.
Yeah.
God is ready for you.
Definitely.
God is ready for you.
Where you from? Where you calling from, Kola?
I'm calling from Shobonos, gentlemen.
Central. Nice.
You, but my guess, you must be spending a couple $1 million on them heart surgeries.
Well, beside that, what I want you to know that don't take the book by the cover. Read every verse, page, and chapter.
Absolutely.
Nothing in this country seriously, even though you see it with your own eyes. Seeing is believing, impossible but true. I was a patient in Sinclair there, in the what you call the Caribbean Heart. And I went through all the tests that one has to go through as a cardiac patient for the second time after 32 years. And I was told after doing the last test, which is called an angiogram, I was told that nothing can be done for me. I want to repeat that line for our listeners. I was told nothing can be done for me. So what he did, he prescribed medication, you continue until your eye opens, or you're dead like a nit. Never use the word second opinion. Never. I am a cardiac patient for 34 years, and that word second opinion was never ever used by a doctor in this country. And I think we have a serious problem with our medical system here. And it's time we speak out, and what you're all saying is very true. In England and America and Canada and Switzerland, the word second opinion is used regularly after 3 visits. After 3 visits, they say, I think you should have a second opinion because I'm not too sure what is happening here. And they would make an appointment for you to see another doctor in the same category, specialist or otherwise, to send you there to get the second opinion to see if we are dealing with the same thing.
Because again, information is knowledge.
That is my point. I just proved that. Information without experience is nothing. You see, in Trinidad and Tobago, we use the word knowledge is power, but it's not a complete statement, folks. Knowledge is power only when applied. And when I was told nothing could be done and give a prescription to continue taking your medication to kill you slowly, which you could get killed here with by the other administration without medication. So I had no choice. I say, Then I call America, England, Canada, Switzerland, and India. I call all these countries immediately, and all they ask me, can you travel? I say, of course I can travel. And I went away and I had it done. And then I came back with 3 bypass. How in Trinidad you told me nothing can be done? I went away and had it done, and I came back with 3, and I'm talking to you, and this is not a spirit. I'm talking to you. How come in God's word you could tell me nothing could be done? Why didn't you say, well, look, we'll send this report to England or to Canada or Miami or somewhere. Let them look at it and get an opinion, a second opinion on this. This topic, this is why I am saying, folks, what this conversation in your program is very, very informative, very educational, very practical, because you are not hiding behind the wall, you're saying it like it is. And everything you're talking about is the God truth. It's just that we have people here with very short memory. They only remember what they want to remember.
Kola, I had to stick up in there because we're coming to the end of the show.
I know how it is. Like everything else, you have to leave and go.
Thank you, Kola.
Thanks a lot. 628-9595-62313. Jonas, we take a last 2.
Morning, Kola.
Yes, hello, good morning.
How are you going, sir?
Yeah, good morning. I wanted to find out from Mr. Alexander. What do you have against Marshall Montano?
What do I have against him?
Against Marshall?
Yes.
So, Janice, leave that call open. I know Marshall since he's small. I know Marshall since Panasonic Express days. I know Marshall father as Monty. When Taxi used to be controlling an image, used to be controlling through Poison Fat, is my little club, the power station, used to give Marshall Montano an ecstatic work. I have nothing against Marshall. What I have is against injustice and unfairness. And if you listen to me long enough, you will realize that even friends and family don't stand up if I believe something is unjust. You understand that?
I understand, but
You understand what I just said? You understand what I just said?
What you said about Marshall Manalo.
I'm not hearing you on your speakerphone, so you need to actually speak into the phone and let whoever you want to hear you on the radio.
It's in the room I'm in. Just a minute. It's in the room I'm in. I don't even speak on a speakerphone.
All right, but we're not hearing you properly on the radio. But I don't want you to misinterpret what I am saying as a dislike for Marshall. I think Marshall is a very nice person. But I just think that our calypso going down, our soca going down a dead end.
But I believe we need people like him to probably.
I agree with you. Now hear this. I do not think that we only need him. I think that we need to open the thing every year and make sure that everybody get the same amount of exposure so that we don't control the soccer with our mafia. That's all I'm saying. There's no disrespect to Marshall. 628-9595, 628-3131.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, caller.
This is what I have to say. Harry Griffith is doing a good job.
Stars Nyla Blackman,
Ola Tunji,
second star Chutney Stars Nepal Chaitlal and Nishad M. Your MC is Hot Mouth Granny. Carnival Thursday, February 28th, Napa, Port of Spain, 8:30 p.m. Act Thursday, March 7th, Shaw Park Complex, Tobago, 8:30 p.m.
Get tickets now online at ticketfederation.com.
Cachets, sleeves, Crosby's, Hideout Clothing, Extra Food Supermarket, Bellini's Drug Mart, All Penny Savers, Tobago.
For more info, call 685-5239.
Calypso Rose in concert.
Forever young.
Don't miss it. Kindly supported by the Ministry of Community Development, Culture and the Arts and the Tobago House of Assembly.
Santana boy, you can pick me up?
Yeah, where you?
By Racetrack Wheels. Boy, I went inside and I lose my mind. It's the best in brand name rims and high performance tires for so. They have special, so I make my name. Ha ha ha!
Panarine, you don't have a car?
Patsy go kill me.
So hurry on down and catch these great specials at Racetrack Wheels. 3 locations: number 330 Eastern Main Road, Aruca; number 64 Southern Main Road, Chase Village; and number 82 Bethany Road, Tobago.
Campari. The journey. The anticipation. The connection. It all comes together in one moment of perfection. And when it's over, we can't wait to do it again. Campari, come together. Must be 18 years or older. Drink responsibly.
Disclaimer. More FM Limited, its owners and associates, accepts no responsibility for statements made by the talk show hosts or their guests. More FM Limited does not endorse any of the information provided during this commercially booked segment as the truth. That you have to judge for yourself. We, however, reserve the right to question statements made. But in this time of misinformation, government-controlled media, and corruption, it is sometimes hard to get the truth. But we must try. It is not our intention to discriminate or annoy anyone. We believe it is our constitutional right to free speech, to voice our opinion, and our duty to the population and country to expose the truth. More FM Limited takes no responsibility for the opinions of others.
Where ba?
Yes, Trinidad.
It was literally getting them a
They get them a tease. They get them a tease.
We're running out of time. We have 10 minutes left in the show, and there have some things we have to talk about. But before we get into those things, Janice,
yes,
let's look at what's on the PEP calendar for the rest of March.
Yes.
So this Saturday, PEP office at Stanmore Avenue, PEP headquarters opens back for our weekly meet and greet from noon this Saturday at noon at 19 Stanmore Avenue. That opens. I think the South office opens as well this Saturday at 137 Manahambre Road.
137 Manahambre Road.
St. Madeleine. Right. Sunday. This Sunday, the PEP members and families. So if you're a PEPper, once you've joined the Progressive Empowerment Party, this applies to you. You and your family members, your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, Don't bring your girlfriend and your side chick to the same party. That has caused problem. It is Pep and Chill. It is our first official family day. We've had some lines before, but we've decided we want to have an annual family day. And it's taken so much things have pushed it aside. We were working on it when the Belmont Barataria by-elections came up, so we had to push it aside. So we would have had it last year. We're having the first one this year, so early in the year. The Pep Family Day is this Sunday, and it is at Daniel Park, Gulfview Circular Drive, Gulfview, La Romaine. So we don't have everything in town like the rest of them parties. We're coming down south with our first family day. So mark your calendar. That's for you, your family, your children, your mother, your father, your guests. You know, it's Pep Family Day. It's free to Pep members. It's free. There's karaoke, all fours, and I will be singing and hanging jack. So come and be a part of it.
Look thing.
Engage. We'll come back at that. Look thing. On the 23rd, which is next week, Saturday, we launch the grand opening of the Pep North Hub.
Yes.
Which is going to be, and if the opening of the South Hub on the 19th of January is anything to go by, it is going to be a massive turnout. Mark your calendar, those of you in the vicinities. So every constituency between Diego Martin West and St. Joseph, this one's for you. This is your regional hub office.
Falls under this hub.
And we're opening on Saturday the 23rd from 5 p.m. There'll be live entertainment and all guest speakers, including everybody that's in the studio. Tony, Janice, and myself. And Robert Amar is going to be a guest speaker there. And Robert Amar recently put the Prime Minister on the spot twice to demonstrate that, Mr. Man, you can't just be talking and opening your mouth and letting talk come out.
Correct.
You have to research your facts.
That's right.
And on both situations, the Prime Minister had to recant. And I like that. And I'm telling Robert, come, hit the ground. Don't tell me you're 65. Now start to live. Pep Family Day. Next week, Saturday, we're opening the Pep North office. And the following Saturday, we're back at Lions Civic Center with the second installment of the Pep Market.
Yes.
We're busy, Tony. We're busy.
Yes.
We're busy.
Yes.
We're busy. The Progressive Empowerment Party busy. Nobody could ever say they didn't know. Nobody could ever say they didn't have a choice. Nobody could ever say they didn't have a real alternative to the madness of red and ready and yellow and unsteady. It is time Trinidad and Tobago took responsibility for their country. Now that we did all that book housekeeping, I want to ask, today is Ash Wednesday. The symbolic giving up of something for Lent. What are you giving up?
What are you giving up?
I giving up.
Nice.
That,
like
you can't use that.
Yeah. You win with that.
People in Trinidad, they just do. There is no like, I want to go on a diet, so I'm giving up bread. You know?
Yeah.
So the motive selfish. You give up supposed. I just realized I don't need headphones anymore. You give up supposed to be. You're giving up something that is a sacrifice to you. For what, right? Correct. For there's life, farewell, the flesh, where ball and back of that. So you really had to give up something, you know. You had to give up. I really had to give up things like M&M's.
M&M's.
Janice, let me tell you something. People laugh at me, you know. I will go and I will do a salad for lunch and a banana split. I'll reward myself for doing well. Because personally, I respect the people who like kale.
What are you giving up? What are you giving up, Janice?
I only off meat.
I thought you was giving up licks.
No, you can't give up licks at all. No.
Shit, what he let tell you?
You spoil the child.
Giving up Karaili. Were you giving up, partner?
Yeah, you know, you're busy asking everybody else. What are you giving up?
Be in your bed at 7 o'clock and leave them girl children alone. Make a list of everything you don't like. Karaili, I don't like onions and cinnamon. That might make a dish. You should have to eat what you don't like for Lent. I should have to eat Karaili, onion and cinnamon with every meal.
That is frustrating, serious.
If you ever hear that I give up roti for Lent, check and see if I'm an imposter.
Yes, definitely an imposter.
No, seriously, you gotta time it down for that to happen.
You gotta drop blood. Let me check and see what going to see. Come on, green.
Listen, back on a serious note, the public health in this country seems to be collapsing. Janice, Janice, on Monday's show, we have to deal comprehensively with public health in this country. I'm trying to get a couple doctors and at least one well-known surgeon to weigh in on the issues. It is time to put aside all of this nonsense and confidentiality and foolishness. We have to look into what's going on, because under Manning, Pandey, Kamala and Rowley, we've spent $5 billion a year. That's $100 billion in public health alone. And that $100 billion, if you had 10 years or 20 years and $100 billion, you could have rebuilt it from scratch. You could have rebuilt something functional. Yeah? When I had to take my son to Sinclair Medical Center, it cost me it leave a hole in my wallet. But the moment he arrived, and he was having an allergy attack, but the moment he arrived, they had people treating with him, checking. You understand what I'm saying, Janice?
Yes.
The welcome wagon is get down to business. The opposite. If I feel for person, I could hardly afford to spend that money. That Sinclair and West Shore, Janice, you just had an episode in West Shore.
Yes. And it was unbelievable. I mean, when I went into the outpatients, and I mean, I had people looking after me immediately, you know, and I got pretty good service.
Public health on Monday, we're going to be dealing with that, because if we can't get public health to match private health, if the Prime Minister, we're going to put him on the spot, because he can't fly out to go and deal with his health checkup in a foreign jurisdiction, not realizing he's just made a mockery of everything that is a local healthcare center. The doctors are incompetent. The Prime Minister has said that our doctors are incompetent. Our hospitals is crap. That's what he said. That's what he said. Because he's going for a checkup, Tony. He's going for a checkup. Anyway, Trinidad and Tobago, this Saturday at noon, 19 Stanmore Avenue, we meet. I'll be there. We also open 137 Manahambre Road, St. Madeline. So the South team, led by Michelle Davis, will be there. This Sunday, PEP Family Day. Organize your family, mark your calendar. We getting down there. We're going to have a real good time.
You can bring your cooler.
Bring your cooler. The cooler is for the day or something, right?
Right.
Because we have all the soft drinks and all the food and everything else. We're taking care of that. But if you want to bring like beer or something, and bring to share. Don't
don't hold it to yourself. Don't hold it to yourself.
See, the people who just move with them little cooler with 4 beers in it, they will play a special place in hell for them. And next week, the opening of the North Hub, we opening next week Saturday. So at 5 p.m. that's going to be a massive event. Mark yourself ready.
Can't wait for that.
And then the 30th, all of you vendors and all of you shoppers, PEP Market, the 30th of March, Lion Civic Center. So Janice, closing comments?
My closing comments basically is that we have been talking about the cold realities which have been facing Trinidad and Tobago for years through our calypsos. For years, the calypsonians have been talking about the ills of what is going on in Trinidad and Tobago and what